All right. We don't want to end up on a Burrow Sound TV video essay or a Danny from the Stop. What's going on at the We Love Hip Hop Network? like song intros like check in when you're coming to LAX. Check in, check in, and it's like you guys have made gangsterism like almost acting like it's legal.
I was gonna say that, but I don't know.
I'm not a hater, bro. Yeah.
Okay, Vegas and Gut.
Yeah, they do their thing, bro. Yeah.
Okay, because that was what came to mind.
Yeah.
So I feel like, that would be a strong, I feel like, team.
Y'all didn't think I was gonna say that, eh?
Yeah.
Isn't that a criminal organization? Don't get me wrong, as a guy from in the streets, I'm still looking at it like, how are you guys so openly saying you're part of this organization? This is gonna bite you in the ass eventually. Do something with spill blood. He called out O.W.O. by name. Wagwan, Bridget.
We love hip hop.
1 2 1 2.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
First try.
What did you just do there? Oh.
I hit it with a first try.
I gotta get it on the second one. I got a quick thing that I just noticed here. Elon sold X.
Who'd he sell it to?
They said he sold it to some kind of AI company or something like that. Let me pull up the what I found on Instagram here.
So he's no longer a part of it?
I don't know. So okay, this is courtesy of Straight Out to 6 TV. Elon Musk on Friday evening announced he has sold his social media company X to an AI, to XAI, his artificial intelligence company. His artificial intelligence company?
So he's buying it from himself?
I don't know. That sounds a little weird, man. XAI will pay $45 billion for X, slightly more than Musk paid in 2022. But the new deal includes a $12 billion debt. Musk wrote on his X account that the valuation is 33 billion.
Okay, so they're buying it including the debt. I guess they're buying out the debt.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. My question was originally if they're going to change it back to Twitter. But now when I'm reading this, it's not even an article really, but now that I'm reading this, it sparks more questions in my brain because did he sell it to somebody else or did he sell it to a company that he owns?
Yeah, at that point, he really just transferred ownership. Maybe he was able to finesse the debt aspect.
I don't know, man. It sounds kind of fishy.
Like he was able to remove his debts by buying the company with his own company who probably is borrowing money off something else.
Yeah. So I'm looking here. AI company.
Wait, go up. Look, Elon Musk sells X to Elon Musk's AI company.
And this is from Variety.
This is some real billion-dollar moves.
That doesn't even make sense to me, bro. How do you sell something to another company that you own?
Does he fully own X? Or is he just a majority stakeholder?
I feel like he was a majority stakeholder, but
I'm sure he's not the sole owner of X. So, but maybe now that his own company purchased X and he's able to pay out everyone who was involved, now he's really the sole controller of the company.
Let me see here. Friday. Okay. So you want to read that for me here, please?
Okay, well, kind of. Musk, in a post on X Friday, said that his artificial intelligence company, XAI, has acquired X in an all-stock transaction that values X at $33 billion, $45 billion minus 12 billion in debt. The deal gives XAI a valuation of $80 billion. Musk claimed. Musk acquired Twitter in October 2022 for $44 billion and took the company private.
So, okay. Let's stop there for a second. With that, I feel like he's the owner of the company of Twitter, not like a majority owner type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
When he purchased it in October 2022?
Yeah.
So he was already the sole owner?
Yeah. So what's going on here with the sale of X to XAI? Musk is merging the investor base of the social network with his AI company, some of which two companies have in common. Musk has previously said that the investor X Corp will own 25% of XAI.
Okay, so the investors in X Corp, the current organization that I think owns Twitter, is also going to own 25% of the new company XAI. So it's almost like it does feel like more of a transfer or update in terms of ownership.
Why? This is the questions that start popping up, because like, why do you need to sell anything to anything? Is it because you're trying to absolve the debt? Are you trying to make the company more powerful? Has there been any type of trouble, like any debt troubles or anything like that? Well, obviously there's debt trouble, but like, is there anything that has been on shaky ground where it's like, I might want to, start moving this company around rather than just keeping it in one place?
In my opinion, as someone who's not ultra elite wealthy, I think he is probably just doing this to either remove debt from Twitter or for tax purposes. I know that he probably already has his way around avoiding paying certain taxes.
Yeah, tax purposes. Good.
But why else? Why else? Because I don't think this is representing any sort of ideological shift in the company or leadership shift or quality shift.
Yeah.
It's purely a paper trail.
Yes. But the thing is, we know this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why do we know this? Like this, why is this being announced? You know what I'm saying?
Knowing Elon Musk and what his ambitions are in terms of looking forward, colonizing Mars, doing all this stuff, there's probably some sort of political reason or understanding that he has that maybe we don't yet.
Yeah,
but he's previewing it.
It is one thing if, let's say, Twitter was acquired, or X. Sorry, I keep on calling it Twitter, but it's X. But it was one thing if it's acquired by another company outside of his companies. So it's like, this is newsworthy. We need to hear about this. He's basically selling it inside of his own companies. So why is it that the world needs to know about this? What's the play?
You're right. And it kind of begs the question, is it a conflict of interest to sell a company to yourself? It's one thing to transfer ownership, but to buy out your own company, at least on layman's terms, it doesn't feel like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it would be like, okay, this is my company. I'm just going to sign off the ownership to this company, which I happen to own. But to purchase it, it's kind of like, what is the MO?
Yeah. And then like, there's so much questions that spark into my brain, because I'm like, okay, how did we get to this headline? Like, who advised Variety and all these different outlets that Elon did an intercompany purchase? It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that means they would have to go tell somebody like, hey, guess what I did? It's like, who cares until you go and make it public? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I guess for those who are investing in the stock market and doing that type of stuff, they would have to have that information revealed, especially if they're getting bought out. Like, if you're an owner and you have a certain amount of shares in Twitter or in X, pardon me, then, you just got acquired
by a company that he owns.
Yeah, I guess. You'd be like, so does that mean your stock just goes super high? Like, do you just hold on to it? Like
I just feel like, yes, it's all right, cool, you did that, but like, I'm just like, why are you telling us?
Why do you want us to know?
Why do you want us to know that you don't have full ownership of Twitter, even though technically you still have full ownership of Twitter?
I'm not sure. Maybe he's trying to reveal one of those billionaire moves. Maybe, I feel like billionaires probably do this all the time. It's just not publicized, where they buy their own companies out to avoid XYZ or to, avoid taxes.
I think there's a bigger play at hand that we're going to see somewhere down the line, where if he had full ownership under Elon Musk, I'm the owner, it would have been detrimental to the company.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to remove any legal liability.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm sure as Elon Musk, the owner, he's still operating under an LLC. Like, it's not like a sole proprietorship. Like, it's a corporation still. And he's probably has a chairman of boards. He has staff.
Yeah.
So it's never just him.
But that corporation, we can't afford to have interfered with if anything goes down, or, you know what I'm saying? So we need to disconnect that from being the owners of Twitter.
It's like a safety net.
Yes.
It's like, by purchasing it with this company, I'm going to have a little more control, less liability, perhaps.
So if something happens with Elon, let's say on one side, it's not going to affect Twitter because I don't own Twitter. This company, XAI, owns Twitter. And then on the reverse, if Twitter gets out of hand and people are like, yo, Twitter reflects badly on the owner, he could be like, I don't own the shit. XAI owns the shit.
Do you feel like X is already utilizing AI mechanisms in their technology? I know they have Grok.
Yeah.
And they have AI fact checking and stuff. So maybe at one point, the whole server, the whole platform is just going to be automated and AI based.
I feel like we're already there, man.
We are, bro.
We are pretty much there, man. Let's start the shit off, man. I just found that interesting because, you know, at first I was like, all right, who's these new guys that are taking the company? But now when we read the article,
oh, it's Elon.
It's Elon.
We know Elon.
All right, so I guess that answers my question. It will still remain X as well. Let's start this shit. Jeez, Death Row, man. The first extortionist.
Snoop has so many classics.
I know. Oh, man.
He needs to be in more top 5, top 10 conversations, I feel.
For Snoop?
Yeah, I feel like he's never mentioned.
Yeah.
It's like he's in his own category.
You know what it is? Because I feel like he's become such a larger than life character that people forget that like his music is the base of why we even know who he is in the first place. You know what I mean? Salute to Snoop Dogg, man. But let's get it popping here. We are is the world's most smoked out podcast. We love hip hop. I'm your host of the most toast, Friday Ricky Tread, aka I don't know. I got no AKAs today.
None?
No AKAs today, man. You know what I mean? Content Rick, man. That's it, man.
Content Rick.
Yeah, man. We back over here. B3 Studios, episode 562. Dusty Wallace will be back. All right. Don't get worried. I know people in the audience are like, yo, where's the Jamaican guys?
There's a conspiracy right now going around.
Oh no. Don't say conspiracy.
Don't make me do a video essay.
All right. We don't want to end up on a Borough Sound TV video essay or a Danny from the Stop. What's going on at the We Love Hip Hop Network? like, it's all good. I just spoke to Dusty earlier this morning. He will be back next week. I know I said that last week, but he'll be back next week. So salute to Dusty Wallace.
Salute.
But we got back over here. You might see him on the streets with his microphones, getting the answers to the real questions. They call him the DJ Vlad of our city.
Do they?
They do. I guess I don't know
who's they.
Who's they? Right? DJs are in the motherfucking building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I almost said DJ Vlad.
Oh my goodness. DJs are aka Borough Sound, aka Young Shawarma, back at it like a crack addict.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Back in the building. That's not the first time that's happened. Where someone actually called me DJ Vlad.
Really?
Yeah, SXM.
Is it starting to stick? Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. But did you see the FBI panel that they had going the other day at No Jumper?
You know what? At first I was gonna be like, that might not be the right thing to call them, but I did realize that AK and those guys were leading into it. They called themselves the Fed 5.
The Fed 5, real talk. That's like the Mount Rushmore of media in a sense.
Yeah.
That was good though.
You know what? It's crazy. And you know what? Let's get into the conversation before. It's crazy that crew came together because to me, it's like the evil culture united.
The evil culture?
Well, for the people who are fans of them, like myself, they won't consider them the evil. I won't even say the evil, but they're like
white.
They're the other end of the culture united. Because, you know, salute to Justin Hunt, he has the Culture United panels that are more positive based, you know what I'm saying? Or more positive creators. You know what I'm saying? Even if we get into debates and stuff, it's more guys that are not like out there being considered the divisive ones or considered like, you know, the cop or FBI ones or look at academics, the kind of reputation that he's...
So less controversial figures.
Yes.
Whereas this Fed 5 was like all the controversial figures in one room.
It's like the Avengers would be the good guys, which would be, I guess, the Culture United. And then I don't know what the evil villain crew would be of what the Fed 5 would be.
The equivalent. I'm trying to think. I feel like this was like, it's almost like an Eastern-Western all-star game. You know what I'm saying? Like these were the best of the best in those conferences.
Yeah. But do you think that they were inspired? Hope you're enjoying the video. Do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm. And join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free. Because salute once again, there was multiple Culture United episodes, and these are not like nothing to sneeze at. Like as far as the views go high on those. Even in real time, when you're on the panel, you can see the number would be like at like almost 10,000 viewers at one point for one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Concurrently.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot.
Right? Or at least, or maybe, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen thousands of viewers watching the Culture United at once. So it's like, that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they've seen it.
I'm sure they've seen it. The only difference I would point out is that one of them was an in-person production. The other was online.
Yes.
So it does take a little more effort to organize getting all those people in one room, collectively discussing topics.
Yes.
Like, I think it was a bigger deal, but Culture United is more of a recurring, consistent thing.
Yes.
So it has its own appeal as well. But did they take inspiration from Culture United? Perhaps, but they definitely put their own spin on it production-wise.
Yeah, because, you know, they're just seeing that, like, oh, shit. Like, and there's been some big creators on there, you know what I'm saying? FD Signifier has a huge channel. Rob Markman, Rap Genius, and MTV and all that, like, Fantano, like, there's some big people on these panels. So when they're seeing this, and, you know, somebody like Adam, who's very content savvy himself, they're probably like, that's a good idea. Get a bunch of content creators, at least 3 to 4, and we can cook.
You know what era of content we're in? The Swagga Like Us era. Remember when that song came out? Obviously, people were doing collaborations before that.
Yeah.
But when you get like 4 superstars, 5 superstars on one piece of content, whether it's music or a YouTube video. That's kind of the era we're in right now, where it's collaborative.
The Swagger Like Us one? That's crazy. You know what's funny?
Or even like the Forever Drake, like there's more, you know, like where it's just like bare mans on one song. Now you have bare mans in one video.
We're going back to the Khaled age. We're going back to the Khaled age in hip hop.
All I do is win.
Yeah. Everybody's just getting together and doing content.
Like 4 mans on a song. Like,
yeah. Sorry. Hold on,
big track.
Man. You know what's funny? I don't even realize how many people are on this song now that you mention it, because there's T.I. on there, and I remember his verse, but then I remember Kanye's verse.
Swag on 100.
Yeah. I didn't remember Lil Wayne being on this song.
No one going to add swagger like that, but I'm too clean for G. You don't remember that?
No, because
I require what I desire. I got stripes. I did that.
Yeah. Trash bars.
But at the time, like, I don't know, you couldn't tell me otherwise. Because I feel like when you have multiple people on one song, it just makes everyone else look better.
Yeah.
Like Run This Town, Forever, You Don't Know with G Unit and Eminem. Like, there were all those like major songs with like 4 or 5 artists. And we're seeing that with videos.
I think so. Because not only there's there's another panel that spun off of the Culture United. I forget the name of the panel. My apologies, but like they're on episode 2 of theirs, right? I've seen some other people who have been collaborating. You might be onto something when it comes to this collaboration age.
Yeah, I think that's where we're headed, because one, it's always been beneficial for both parties to collaborate. You combine fan bases in a way.
Yeah.
But I think it's almost like the expectations now from the audience are higher, especially for bigger YouTubers. Like, you've already done good productions. You've already had good interviews. What's something new you can give us?
Yeah.
Especially when you're at the top. I feel like when you're still bubbling or you're on the path to growing, like, you could still do whatever. But once you hit a certain threshold, you kind of have to innovate, because the audience is going to get used to the quality that you put out.
Yeah, and you're already starting to see it. Like, it's been happening over the years with the AMP or Amp House and stuff like that. Like, these guys are a bunch of different huge creators on their own, but they all live in one house. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen them even moving, like the video of them moving into the house and all the different rooms and freaking Agent's room and Kai's room. And it's like, yo, like, all you guys' streams are doing well on their own, but you guys are all collaborating together.
Yo, okay, if we had to create a 5-person Toronto content house of like our all-stars individually, YouTubers, or just content creators in general, but Toronto. I would put you in the 5. So let's say you're in the 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave myself out, but I feel like I could be in it.
You could be in there.
I could be in there,
I
but
think you should be in there.
But like for the sake of just including people.
Okay.
So we got Friday Ricky Dread.
We got to put in the Oxtail God.
That dude McFly, 100%.
Right, Marlon Palmer.
I want to argue, what's his name? Your True Captain. From a YouTube perspective, he has it on lock.
Yeah, Your True Captain. Homie who plays the basketball.
Oh, K Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys should have a girl in there just for a little balance.
We do need a girl in there.
But maybe not. AMP doesn't have any girls. Neither does Beta Squad. Neither does Sidemen. So the only YouTuber I'm thinking of that would be a female to include this is either Sagittarius Shorty or Carly Sarah.
Those are the only 2 YouTubers
Chromas, maybe Chromas. I feel like Chroma's
is a streamer. She's a streamer.
She's a streamer.
Yeah. Maybe Chromas. That's so bad once we start getting to the women. Like, with all due respect, like we're not. It just goes like. Like we went from Sagittarius Shawty.
No, Key Casanova we can include in there.
Key Casanova might be a good
or
fit.
Sad Shorties or one of them, but yeah, but that would be imagine like all you guys. I can't even imagine that happening, to be honest. But
it wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Everyone is too branched out.
Yeah, and not everybody gets along in the city, man. That's part of the problem. It's not even just the rappers that don't get along in the city. The content creators are cool to a degree, and then there's some that don't get along. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the problem.
But I feel like if we're removing numbers, I feel like us, DJ Snoopy, I would put, who else would I put up there?
Maybe Gutsy in them.
Yeah. You'd be down for that, eh? I was gonna say that, but I don't know.
I'm not a hater, bro. Yeah.
Okay, Vegas and Guts.
Yeah, they do their thing, bro. Yeah.
Okay, because that was who came to mind.
Yeah.
I feel like, that would be a strong. I feel like team.
Y'all didn't think I was gonna say that, eh?
Yeah. Gucci Ghost is wilding right now in the comments.
Oh Lord. He's not an asshole. Not that much. But I think that's a good thought experiment that we might need to workshop on a live stream or a full episode, because that's
it's worth trying, man. Why not make a separate YouTube channel? We're all a group. The group is just gonna big us up as individuals. Everyone benefits, and now Toronto actually has a content house that we can refer to by name,
like the Toronto Sidemen.
Pretty much. They have Toronto tied. I feel like that's our closest thing, and that's like Saria, City Boy JJ, Raw King, that crew.
Yeah,
they're being recognized. They got recognized in Miami by Lil Pump.
What are your thoughts on the Toronto accent?
Fire. I like it.
You know any words?
Nah, teach me some shit.
Look, listen, the first word we have is Gerber.
Gerber.
Yeah, fam, listen.
Yeah, fam, Gerber.
And then we have Krusky. When you see your bro on the block.
What up, Krusky? What up, Krusky?
He's the master, come.
Yeah, come here, teach me some shit.
Yo, two's my word, broski. Someone's gonna catch a death off.
Someone's gonna catch a death off. Death off, man.
Like,
they were in Miami for that? Sorry, we're gonna get to the topics and stuff.
Yes.
They were in Miami for that? Because I thought he was, Lil Pump was over here in Toronto.
Was he?
I don't know.
No, I look like, I think it was in America, either LA or Miami. I'm not sure.
That shit made me like physically cringe when I know that's the point, but like it actually worked. Like I went like this in the house, like my shoulders went up, like, oh, stop.
That's powerful content. When you can actually evoke physical reaction, whether it's sickness, being sick to your stomach.
Yeah, when he was like, yo, Crowley, I was like, oh, stop. We don't talk like that, man. Okay.
All right.
Let me salute the sponsors and then we'll get to our topics, man. We what are we in here? Like, oh shit, 27 minutes. Damn, we chatting.
We in the trenches.
Okay. Big salute to Diamond Club and Canna Cans. Canna Cans is or Diamond Club is the carrier of Canna Cans. Okay. They got the freshest piff, and the Canna Cans keep the freshness sealed. Okay. So if you want to order that, you can get them on the Canna Cans page, or you can go to the Diamond Club page and get some edibles, pens, anything you need. All right. Delivery across Canada and same-day delivery in the GTA. Make sure to hit them up on their Instagram page. First of all, that's CanadaCans_Canada And you could also hit them up on the Diamond Club page. That's Diamond Club_Ontario. Also, big salute to the people over there in Ottawa. Salute to the people at Only Loud. Okay, Only Loud has same day delivery of some piff in Ottawa. Also, same day delivery in the GTA. Okay, they got a bunch of different blends as well as their own personal blend. Hit them up on their Instagram page. That's Only Loud Canada, and you could also find them on Snapchat. onlyloud.ca. Like we said, Dusty Wallace will be back next week. Before we get into our topics, how's your week been? What you been up to, bro?
Man, post Pop the Balloon, life has been changed. Everything is different now.
People hitting you up in the street. I saw you on Pop the Balloon.
No, not at all. I'm just joking. But yeah, man, just been making content, doing interviews, and the Pop the Balloon. Definitely, I think it helped me. It helped me a little bit still.
Yeah, what's that on the streets video interviews that you were doing?
I just did that recently. What's one thing you don't like about Canada?
So much shit. All right, where do we start, gang? Where do we start? Okay, everything is so expensive. You can't buy anything and get your money's worth. You can't walk into a store and pay less than like $10.
Okay, so if you're prime minister for one day, what would your first order of business be?
I don't think I can disclose that information.
So the other day, DJ Natural Wave, shout out to him.
Salute.
He was doing a live stream DJing at Young and Dundas.
Yeah, Dundas Square.
Or Sankofa Square.
Yeah.
It's Sankofa Square. Yo, don't ever disrespect Sankofa.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I helped him because he was doing it all by himself. And I'm like, bro, like he has his speaker, he has his live stream set up. So I'm like, yo, like if I help you, can you help me do a 1-2 interview? And yeah, so he did his live stream. I did a 1-2 interview, and I think I might start unlocking that lane. It's a fun lane.
Yeah.
You're forced to kind of step out of your comfort zone to approach people for interviews.
Yeah.
And it makes for good content. It's raw, it's authentic. And I think, live streaming and street interviews, that's kind of the new wave. That's the current wave, at least. I don't know what the next wave is gonna be, but that's the current wave. So we gotta keep up with these youngins. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like I don't wanna be caught like the old man that still does like his super old school raps in like 2025. It's like you gotta kind of adapt.
Content is always evolving. That's why with you, like even with the conversations I have with you, because you're like constantly like making content, right? Like, where do you see it going next? Before, like right now, we're in the live stream IRL.
We are.
Age. You know what I'm saying? Are we staying there? Are people gonna have to up the ante? Or are we gonna start peeling it back because of people like Johnny Somali and people who are getting into issues?
I think where we're going to head next, and this is very speculative, it's just a guess. I think we're going to go more into like borderline virtual experiences where it's like, come with us to do this, whether it's like us playing dodgeball, us doing this. Like, I feel like those, perhaps it's not the new way, but those always work. You know what I'm saying? Activities, because some people who are on the other side of the world that want to like partake in those activities, they can't, but they can kind of watch other people do it, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like the streaming market is super oversaturated. There's so many streamers that we don't know, you know what I'm saying, that are trying to become streamers.
And platforms that are popping up that are trying to become streaming platforms.
Yeah. And I think the era where you could just play video games and stream, I feel like that was only a successful option early on, like when it was still novel.
Yeah.
But now that everyone's doing it, the criteria or this barrier of entry is lower.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people don't care as much. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a streamer that plays games. Like, unless you're Kai or you're one of those guys, or even like a Cribaz, like on that level.
Yeah. Well, because those guys have reached those levels where they're multimillionaires, now when you say it, there's like a bar.
Yeah, like it's kind of like saying, oh, I'm a rapper, and people think Jay-Z.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, I don't see no chains.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't see you with Kai. You know Aiden Ross? Like, those are like the kings of streaming, I guess. But yeah, I think next is just going to be like experiences. I think video essays, are still going to be a prominent thing. I think
that's always going to be a consistent.
Yeah.
Because people want information.
Yes.
Right? So if you're able to get some information and somebody to read out, actually that's something different, but information from the YouTube essays and stuff, but also paperwork reading and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure. True crime.
Yes. If somebody can sit there and read the paperwork for you and explain it, rather than you having to read the paperwork of whatever artist or whoever your favorite star is that's in trouble, great. I'm clicking on that and I'm watching it the whole thing, full retention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I think you're right. IRL, because I feel like pranks, that came and went.
Yeah.
No one does pranks anymore, do they? Like on YouTube, that's popping super.
It's kind of dicey because a lot of those videos will get demonetized if like you're doing something that can scare somebody or somebody gets hurt. You know what I mean? It might look like a fight, but it's not a fight. You know what I mean?
I feel like we've seen so many eras of YouTube. We saw like the prank era, the vlog era, the mukbang era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The music era.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting. Comment down below where you think it's headed because I have no clue. I would have never expected IRL streaming to be what it is today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, let's get into a few of these topics here.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's things that's been going on. The Big U indictment has finally came down. Discover Cans, where quality meets innovation. With over 24 premium strains, each carefully sealed in our signature cans for maximum freshness. We're redefining the cannabis experience. Trusted Canada-wide for consistency and reliability. We deliver the product you deserve. Elevate your expectations and explore the difference with Cans. You can find Cans on Instagram at @Cans_Canada, or you can find them on the Diamond Club page, Diamond Club_Ontario. Make sure to use the code WeLoveHipHop on the way out and get yourself a little discount. Salute to the sponsors. Cheer! Like at first it was like a complaint and you're arrested everybody, right? As far as like the RICO. But now the indictment is out. It's like a 43-page indictment. I'm not going to read through it here or pull it up and all that stuff, right? I just wanted to maybe talk about a few different things that are around it. Okay? Just to give a short explanation of the indictment, they're saying that Big U is responsible for extortion in the form of making people check in and check into the gangs when they come into LA and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of money laundering and different things and fraud that was coming in from him getting money from the Los Angeles city for his organizations and then siphoning the money or taking donations from all these different big donators, including basketball players and stuff like that, and pocketing most of the money. There was the murder that went down with, I think his nephew, who was an artist of his, the Nipsey Hussle murder. There's all these different things, okay? Prostitution. It's a RICO. So there has to be more than two different things that this person is supposed to be guilty of so that they can call it a RICO, all right? And everybody else is like basically all caught up in this shit. Here's the problem. A lot of these things have been stuff that they've been able to find from online and not just No Jumper like we spoke about the other day. Big U, there's that video that's moving around. I'll cut it in here.
Anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't check it in, oh well. Go check your ass out.
Hope you're enjoying the video. Do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm. And join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free. Right, of him like saying, yo, you got to check in when you're trying to film like a music video or a movie around here. And I don't know if you've seen that video. No,
where was it from?
They were on the corner somewhere in Los Angeles, right? Let me see if I can find it on Twitter. It's probably going to be there real quick. Checking in. Because they're using stuff like that. Right here.
In the hood. That's how we do it, you know, man.
Top flight, baby. Security.
GB running this here movie set in the hood.
Come on out here.
Coming out here and checking in with GB, getting these movies done. You better know it. You know what I mean? Anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't check it in, oh well. Go check your ass out. We're gonna check you in, all right. We're gonna check in all of your equipment. We're gonna check in all of your equipment. Move.
Right? So there's stuff like this. Obviously, like Loose Cannon just running his loose ass lips, talking all different types of things from different platforms about extorting Meek Mill and all that stuff. The intro of Big U's podcast, the Checking In podcast, right? Had Snoop Dogg singing this song. That's why I was playing Snoop in the beginning of the podcast too. Yeah, I couldn't find the song on the internet. But the song intro is like, check in. When you're coming to LAX, check in. Check in. And it's like, you guys have made gangsterism like almost acting like it's legal.
You're saying they're being too outright with it.
Yeah, like, bro, I don't understand since when was it okay to say that I'm in the Bloods or I'm in the Crips? Like,
to admit?
Yes, because like obviously your clothes are going to show it. Like I wear a lot of blue or I wear a lot of red. Like, okay, you know, you got the bandanas. That's obvious proof. The cops can say, hey, he's part of a gang because he's got the bandanas. But when has it become okay to say, I'm a part of this gang?
Do you feel like the moment you say that, you incriminate yourself by admitting that you were part of either the Bloods or the Crips?
Yes. But for years, and it's not just the West Coast, I've seen it all over America and Canada, there's people who are openly admitting they're Blood gang, Crip gang. They don't say the C's when they speak and different things like that. And it's like, bro, like, isn't it not legal to be in a gang?
Yeah, if it's an actual gang that is a criminal organization and commits crimes. But I don't think you saying that you're a Blood or a Crip is sufficient evidence for them to deduce that you are actually a member.
And listen,
anyone could say anything, you know?
If there's real gang members that are in the viewing audience or just people who watch this, let me know. Like, is it okay? Like, is it legal to say, hey, I'm part of a Crip set? Like, is that just not, that's not illegal to say it. Unless now you guys are like engaged in some kind of organized crime.
But it almost sounds like, I'm trying to think of it from the law's perspective, where it's like, well, it sounds like you're either partaking in crime or you're aiding and abetting, or you're seeing crime and you're not saying something. Like, I feel like they could probably try to deduce a crime from just someone saying, I'm part of this set.
Yeah, because I know people are going to go back to, and the people who might just push back on this, they might say, well, listen, it didn't start off as gang banging. It was community organizations and different things like that. Crips, like I think is an acronym for communities and something like that. I'm not super educated on it, so excuse me. So I understand it didn't start that way. But this is what the law looks at these, or not organization, but at these gangs as. You know what I'm saying? They look at them as criminal organizations. If you're in a Blood gang, you're part of a criminal organization. So when has it been okay? And I'm talking to rappers included, where they're just like, yeah, Suwoo, I'm this. I'm like, okay, so like, is it an advertising tool? Is it okay to just say I'm a part of it as long as I'm not doing crime? Like, I'm freaking confused because RICOs are happening with these guys, bro.
Yeah, I think there is a positive effect for a rapper to, I guess, affiliate with one of the gangs.
Yeah.
Because it just gives you a certain amount of credibility. And at the same time, you're probably protected under freedom of speech in you communicating that through a song. So it wouldn't be able to suffice as evidence.
Right.
You know, it's like, well, it's a song. This is art. It's self-expression. I can say things that are fictional or non-fictional.
Yes.
That's up to the listener to decide, whatever.
Because like for years, Snoop Dogg has been openly the most openly known Crip. And everybody's just been okay with that. But like, and he's part of the Rolling 60s. You know what I'm saying? But now his crew is getting a RICO on them. Snoop's not getting a RICO on him, right? And I'm not trying to wish it on him or anything, but I'm just saying he's been openly saying, yeah, I'm rolling 60. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just the openness of being okay to be a gangbanger has become so glorified over the years, and so many people joined in that now when the RICOs come down, it's like, so you want to be part of this gang or not?
Yeah, I wonder if the feds allow them to run with that narrative in exchange for some type of cooperation. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. But if you are a super public figure admitting that you are part of a certain gang, the feds could easily try to investigate on you.
Yeah.
And you're probably at a point where you're a multimillionaire. You don't want to get caught up in some RICO and stuff. So maybe you serve as a caveat between the feds and the gang. because you're kind of like corporate at this point. You know what I'm
I
saying?
guess. Because
It's possible.
And let me not just limit this to Bloods and Crips. It goes all the way down to the BDs and the GDs and all that. Like, we know so much people who are just openly, I'm part of that gang. And like, they talk about it on podcasts. They talk about it in their songs. It's just okay. But the cops, the feds, everybody's looking at them like these are criminal organizations. So when you're just openly saying, yo, I'm part of these criminal organizations, like, I feel like automatically investigated.
It's true. Could that even extend towards throwing certain gang signs or hand signs or throwing certain certain numbers up or down or whatever?
It's so much entrenched in the rap game. And don't get me wrong, there's rappers who are not gang related, but we've watched so much gang related shit over the years where I'm like, how is it everybody just openly just talking about their shit? Maybe not the crimes themselves, but say I'm a part of these gangs. You should be keeping it a secret.
When you would interact with people who may or may not have been in gangs, would they ever admit out loud that they were part of a gang or introduce themselves as part of the gang, or you kind of just deduced it from who they were?
You can tell, like, by the colors they wear or whatever.
But they would never outwardly admit it. Or maybe they would to someone who they...
Yeah. It's not something that just started now. I guess it's just gotten worse, or maybe now everybody's starting to drop the feds are starting to drop the hammer on all these guys. But like, from the time when I was rapping, there was a bunch of open Bloods and open Crips in Toronto.
Maybe it's the music that kind of popularized the affiliation, or, you know, communicating the affiliation.
Yeah. It's just wild to me, because there's one thing to be a street guy, and I'm on these streets, I'm doing dirt, okay? You can say that and kind of keep some kind of a disguise. You can say, you know what? Oh no, I'm just a businessman. But when you're like, I'm a street guy, or I'm a businessman who's part of this Blood set, or I'm a business guy who's a GD or whatever. It's so hard to keep convincing people like, I'm not in the streets, I'm just doing business, you know, but I'm a Crip. Like, they're gonna look, you're still part of a criminal organization.
And let's not get it twisted. Probably all these feds have previous information about each set. Like, it's not like this is a new set that emerged. They probably have documentation from things from the past, from past events. For decades. And then they can connect your ties. Oh, so that was your cousin who we arrested a couple years ago. Oh, and you know this guy.
Yes.
Oh, so were you maybe involved in that 2018? What were you doing then? Like, it just allows them to investigate you more.
Yeah.
But I almost think like drill as a genre is almost built on self-snitching.
Yes, but it's
specifically drill. Maybe gangster rap to an extent, a lesser degree, but drill music, it's like you're self-snitching about hats.
You're literally telling about the exact crimes, but
who they were too. Like,
even with gangster rap, okay? And I promise, like, let's maybe not even get off this topic, because this needs to be examined, because I've been listening to hip hop, or I've been in the hip hop community, because I'm freaking almost 50 years old now, right? Where I didn't know that Eazy-E was a Crip when I was listening to NWA. I'm only finding out that Eazy-E is a Crip, to be honest, over the last like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Because of podcasts and all these different things. But when I was watching NWA, I didn't know what set they were part of, if they were Bloods or Crips. And these guys are in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what block they were from or whatever. I just seen cool gangster rappers. They were saying some wild shit and some smart shit. Cool. And with other rappers too. I didn't know Eric B from Eric B and Rakim and Eric B were part of like gangs in the streets of New York. I would find out from speaking to my cousins and stuff, but I couldn't tell from their visuals and from the music and stuff like that, that they were part of certain gangs or different things like that. Like, we knew that they were from the streets, but we didn't know specifically until, like, I guess when we started finding out, like, Snoop Dogg was like openly, I'm a Crip, and he's wearing the colors and stuff like that. Like, you know, and then it evolved to like Lil Wayne and stuff like that. People will remember, once upon a time when the Hot Boys first came out, they were wearing all kind of colors of bandanas, yellow ones, red ones, blue ones. They were in all kind of colors. And then at some point, it just became only Suwoo shit. It was only red, all from afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking to myself, isn't that a criminal organization? don't get me wrong, as a guy from in the streets, I'm still looking at it like, how are you guys so openly saying you're part of this organization? This is going to bite you in the ass eventually.
But it never really affected Wayne, right?
It never he's had his own individual cases, but it didn't reflect on the blood gang.
And my question is, so Lil Wayne grew up wealthy, right?
No.
Like after he was adopted or whatever.
Well, he was adopted. Well, by that time he was like 13 years old, he was rapping.
Okay, but he was with what's his name?
Birdman.
Birdman, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so never mind then, because I thought maybe what I was thinking is, you know how 6ix9ine got the blood affiliation and that kind of helped his music?
Yeah.
Perhaps there was some sort of mutual exchange where they're saying, okay, like because if you talk about being a blood, bloods are gonna rock with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll co-sign you to say, okay, he's cool with us, he's a blood.
Yeah.
You pump in some money to our neighborhood, and it's a win-win.
They started collaborating him in the game. You know what I mean? They got real close.
Yeah.
Like it started becoming a thing. Like, oh, all of us, blood gangs unite, da-da-da-da. And I'm thinking to myself, this is all criminal organizations as far as the eyes of the law. They're looking at you guys like, okay, you guys are bloods and all that, but like, aren't you guys all part of gangs?
But not only does it admit that, you're advertising and romanticizing being a blood, being a Crip. You're making it more known to people. So now you might have people from outside LA who maybe are starting their own blood or Crip factions in their own city because they rock with Snoop Dogg more than the game, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
and that did happen.
That happened, eh?
Yeah. Especially for like little mesquite cities and stuff like that. That they didn't have that much shit going on, so they're just like, oh, I like this music, so I'm a blood. And like,
I like red. Red's my favorite color.
Right?
No, it's kind of crazy that we appropriate gang culture. Even the word crow or crody.
Yeah.
When that started, I swear only Crips could say that.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't say it unless you were willing to admit that you were a Crip.
Yes.
And now it's just every kid saying crody.
Everybody, but yeah, all of the kids.
A lot of non-gang affiliated people say crody
or crow.
Krowski.
Yeah. So like, and you're saying that, like, technically, like you said, you're underlying saying that I'm part of the Crips.
Mm-hmm.
That shit don't mean that no more, bro. But it's because gang culture has become such a public, commercialized thing that I think people forgot that the shit is illegal, bro.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Being parts of gangs that are usually, if a rapper's funding your gang and now nobody has to be in the streets, fine, we can just call ourselves the gang, but we don't do no street shit.
We're just the crew.
Yeah. But like, if you guys are still dealing with street shit and you're calling yourself the gang, but you also have some clean money over here, the feds are watching all of this shit, and you also told them on TV, yeah, I'm part of the gang. It's just weird, man. Last thing before we get off of this indictment, because I know I didn't want to get into the indictment and all that, because like we ain't even out there. There's only so much that we even know about it at this point. But do you think that Toronto, with the amount of people who've self-snitched, not only on podcasts, and they don't be as much on that many podcasts. We don't got as many podcasts over here. But who have self-snitched online, on their own Instagrams and all that, do you think that we can get the equivalent of a RICO over here?
Absolutely. 100%. I think between Torontology on Reddit, between all the video essays, between Canley.
Hold on. The video essays be crazy. There's a lot of video essays.
There's a lot of video essays, fam. Even sometimes I'll be making video essays. I'm like, yo, I wonder if like any police will like watch this like seriously.
They
like,
are.
and I'm like, then I kind of feel weird, but I'm like, I'm reporting on what's already online. So between what's already online, creators, the artists themselves, Instagram, the blog pages, Reddit, and then even just staying in tune with like IG lives with certain people. Cause some mans like they be on IG live, like self-snitching all the time. They might not have that many viewers. And it's like, you only know them if you know the drama. You know what I'm saying?
Screen off.
Yeah, screen off, but saying, we caught him lacking at the hospital.
Well, dude, and not to get somber, RIP to the young gentleman who passed away the other day.
Yonadan?
Is that his name?
I don't want to get it wrong, but the 16-year-old,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Wasn't it online when he got caught, when they caught him? Am I wrong about that?
No, the one you're speaking of with the 16-year-old, it was accidentally fired. Like him and his friend were, I guess, messing with the gun, and then he accidentally shot him.
Okay, and that was on TikTok? Which one was the one on TikTok?
There was one where it's like there was like a screen recording from a Tesla, like a Tesla car recording, and then
Okay.
you could see a man actually fall. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think so, man.
Yeah.
Because like we're getting to the point where we're able to see this shit online. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not the first time that there's been something that happened that we seen online in Toronto, like a shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's like the second or maybe third time that somebody got wet up online. So if you take all those things that you mentioned, plus videos of actually people getting it on social media platforms, on live streams, like I agree with you. I think we might, and I don't want it to happen, but if these guys really wanted to, you know, shake shit up, we don't have recos here. We have projects. But I'll say this for the people out there: they won't do it now because we're not up. You know what I'm saying? We're still on the way up. But when Toronto gets to that point where like there's a bunch of millionaires walking around off of this hip hop shit,
that's when they're gonna.
That's when they'll drop the
start
hammer,
cracking
bro.
down. Yeah, but I do want to add that at least in my video essays, like I'll never reveal information that is outside the scope of research.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what, if you're able to reveal some like exclusive information that it's like, whoa, like you said that this guy told you that he did this. Can you come into the police station and say that? Like, it's just like, that's when it's bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once again, like everything is online, and maybe we kind of messed up as a society by publicizing everything, because now there's just so much archives to be dug up on everyone.
Fam, we shouldn't have been able to pull up that video of Big U talking about checking in the, like, that video should not exist. The way that the camera angle is, how it's up in the air, that's because it's the phone in his hand.
Yeah.
He's a over 50-year-old man at that point with a phone in his hand telling people, you have to pay to use our area or we're going to steal from you. Calling it checking in just to make it some cool sounding word doesn't make it any less illegal.
Yeah, but at the same time, I can understand, like, okay, if you pay us for protection, you're going to be good here. Because that's really, when you're checking in, it's kind of like you're paying for safety, technically.
Yes.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can understand that different areas have their own different modes to, you know, instill those things. So it's like, in Mexico, for example, like if you get caught by the police doing something crazy, you could pay them off and then they'll let you go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just an accepted thing. So I think it's kind of like that, where it's like, yo, this is their territory in a, maybe not in a legalistic way, but in a forceful way.
I guess.
Where it's like, they run this here, so if you don't want problems, pay them.
Yeah, because it's not their territory. They don't own the goddamn block.
They don't own the land.
They don't own the land. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying this for the West Coast. I'm saying any blocks, anybody who's like, yo, this is our block. No, it's not, man.
But
it's the government's block.
But what they're doing is better than owning it, because let's be real, like, you can own something and someone can still run up in it. Or you can not own something, but someone's going to be afraid to even step foot on your territory.
Yeah. But who? The ops or now
Civilians.
a movie crew?
Civilians.
Like a movie crew should be able to film in the area, not have to get extorted because, oh, the Crips live in this area. Like the Rolling 60s live in this area. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And when they say when you come to LAX check in, like anyone, like what if you're like Leonardo DiCaprio? Do you feel like he's ever had to check in with some LA gangs?
Now, here's where things get tricky because I don't completely know. I don't know if checking in only means like if you want to go into, like if you're in the hip hop community, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, okay, if you want to go to the clubs and be in the hood and all that type of stuff, you got to check in. But from what I've been hearing about LA, because I've never been there, it's not that easy. You could be in these nicer areas and stuff like that and still run into the same problem. So you may need to check in.
Even in the nicer areas?
Yeah, like there's not like you could just be in Beverly Hills and not see some gangsters at a party.
Yo, I'm even thinking like the Kardashians. Like, I guess they live there, and Corey probably holds it down. He's like the connect, maybe.
Well, they've been saying, and in this indictment as well, that they were like extorting mad ball players and different people. There's people who've been like playing basketball in LA and they're having to pay to be able to move around.
Oh, like they're Lakers or Clippers.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, bro. So it gets deep, fam. Like to the point where it's like, if I'm a ball player and you're trading me to LA, even though LA is gonna be like, oh damn, I'll get to play for the Lakers. At the same time, I'm like, God damn, bro, aren't these guys gonna try to extort me?
You think LeBron got to check in?
Maybe.
Someone comment down below if you know anything about that. Because if you're LeBron James, you're not protected by the NBA or some sort of like bigger infrastructure.
Okay, maybe he didn't check in, but he knows who he needs to know for him to be able to move around LA without no problem.
It's probably the security team knows some people from the ends, maybe.
Something. Nobody made him check in. He already knew what he had to do. He followed the protocol as somebody who probably just knows the streets. You know what I'm saying?
But do you have to check in with different ends every time? Like, or do you check in with one ends and that's the only check-in you got to do? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It gets tricky. This is why I don't understand. Because like,
someone explain to us.
If I check in now with a blood set, now I got problems with the Crips. You know what I'm saying? Or I might have problems with other blood gangs that this blood gang that I checked in with.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't necessarily mean I'm cool. I'm just cool and I got their protection. But, you know, they got issues with people too.
Well, maybe you got to pay both sides.
I don't know, man. That's just, it hurts my head to think about the whole process because it's like, okay, I'm checking into you. And then when I get to LA, am I going to have to turn around and pay the money to this person too? Because they'll be like, yo, you're around me too? I'm none of you guys friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to move around and get some fat burgers and whatever, you know what I'm saying, without getting shot. Jesus Christ.
Fat burgers is crazy.
You guys made it crazy. But listen, man, I salute to everybody who's still dealing with these legal issues. I'm not here to be let's try to find all of their legal inconsistencies and put these guys in jail. Like, don't worry, there's a lot of other content creators that are out there helping you guys lock yourselves up.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to talk about this Young Scooter thing quick fast.
Yeah, tell me about this.
So Young Scooter, he's an artist who's done like a bunch of different collabos with people over the years. A lot of people, they've said that they found out about Future through Young Scooter. And, you know, a lot of people in his passing, and this is last night for when he passed from when we're filming this, like Quavo and all these different people were coming out showing their condolences and stuff, right? They're saying in the headlines, and it's still up for a lot of different blogs, that he got shot by police. But the police immediately, let's say within a few hours of the headline going out, did a press conference saying that he didn't get shot and that he got caught up on a fence or something like that and broke his leg, and then on his way to hospital he died. So I'll play the press conference from the police.
We're here to discuss two events this evening. The first being from the 200 block of William Nye Drive in Zone 3. Officers responded to a dispute with a weapon. It was advised in the call remarks that shots were fired and a female was dragged back into the location. Once officers arrived, they knocked on the door. A male opened the door and immediately shut the door on the officers. The officers then established a perimeter. During the process of establishing the perimeter, two males fled out of the rear of the house. One male returned back into the house. The other male jumped two fences as he was fleeing.
Two fences.
When officers located him on the other side of the fence, he appeared to have suffered an injury to his leg. Officers rendered aid, and he was transported to Grady Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. That male is going to be a 39-year-old male out of Atlanta. Just to be very clear, the injury that was sustained was not via the officers on scene.
Be clear.
It was when the male was fleeing.
So, and he made sure to put that little extra thing at the end. Just to be clear, it wasn't because of us, because people were ready to crucify the Atlanta police. It felt like, I heard didn't you mention that there was some unrest going on in Atlanta because of this?
No, I didn't say anything.
Or no, it was B3 when I was talking to him. He said he heard that there was like, they were trying to like start thinking about rioting and stuff. But these guys put this out right away. It still sounds kind of fishy.
It does, but I feel like because I mean, maybe they're thinking about their own safety, but I also would give enough credit to Georgia as a state where they would admit if they shot him because their gun culture is a little different there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know anyone who's ever died from a broken leg. I don't know how high he fell from with the fence. I'd need more context, and we need to see an autopsy report to confirm he never actually got shot.
Now, if I wanted to play police devil's advocate, you can die from a leg injury. Like, let's say if you puncture a major artery, he could have been climbing the fence, and when he climbed the fence, his leg got punctured into one of the tops of the fence, and the blood that was happening from there, and then the landing, didn't help to exacerbate the wound, and he lost blood and died.
But that's not a common occurrence when it comes to someone breaking their leg, especially because he wasn't dead on the scene. He was dead in transportation or by the time he arrived to the hospital.
Yes.
And that's the sketchy thing as well, is what was happening in that trip. Because keep in mind, they originally came there to kind of press him as a criminal, and now they're rendering aid to him. Yeah. But they still have their original intention in mind.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. There's another side to it. Like, he could have been okay, and then on the way to the hospital, they killed him.
What, in the ambulance?
Could be.
With what? By shooting him?
I don't know. Letting the blood come out of his wounds more or something.
Like, neglect.
Yeah, neglect.
It's possible, but didn't the police officer say that they started shooting first?
No, they said
there was a shot at the door.
There was shooting on the scene, and
so
then
who fired the shot?
Whoever was on the scene, they responded to shooting on the scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought once they arrived, there was also shooting.
No.
Okay,
they said they went into the house. They said somebody opened the door and then slammed it again. And then after, they gave chase to two people. One of the people came back right away, and the other person kept on running, which is young Scooter, and he jumped the fence and died. So I don't know. There's not really a lot of information. Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe, man. It's like you just died from a leg injury. Like, it's just.
The police suck at lying. Like, their lies are always so unbelievable that they kind of out themselves.
Yeah.
But maybe it's so specific that why would they even make that up to begin with?
Yeah, but then there's freak accidents that happen. That's why it's like, it's hard to call it, because it's such a who knows type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's their word against the rest, and like,
yeah,
I guess there's no body cam footage of somebody if they died on the other side of the fence.
Mm-hmm. And whenever it's not clearly black or white, obviously conspiracies seem more appealing.
Yeah.
So that's probably what we're dealing with now, but rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. to young Scooter, man. I was looking here through my Instagram or a different Instagram post, because Nav just dropped his new album or Back to Rexdale, or what was his name of his album now?
I don't know, I haven't listened to it, but I guess that's why he was on Neon.
Yeah.
Neon is becoming the new spot.
He is. I'm trying to find something, because I seen people talking about that he dissed Drake on this new album.
What would the diss even be?
There's some bars that he dissed Drake on this new album that people are saying on this new Nav album. Did the video. I'll find it.
It's called On My Way to Rexdale.
On My Way to Rexdale. That's out now. He did a video that's over there in India. You see that? Or a clip from a video's not out yet.
Be scraping the curb. I'm the man, I swap my lasso out cause you get on my nerves. Walk in the store, I spend a logics. Now I'm
holy, the man's there with AP Dillon. Holy. Yo, I'm feeling that still, man.
And the babes.
And not only the song sounds fire too, but the fact that he's linking up with like his Punjabi homies and stuff, bro. Holy. I want to find this Drake thing, because I guess XO and OVO, that beef is still not ended yet, right? Remember during that whole time that the whole 20v1 or whatever, that Drake unfollowed Nav and a few other people. And Nav commented on it at the time. So I will find it. But what do you think, man? Do you think these guys could ever get back to not beefing anymore? Because they're both from our own city, man.
Yeah, I think this will be swept under the rug one day. I can't see this sustaining itself unless there are ties to both security guards getting shot from each camp, which I'm not saying there are, but if there are, then that's a little harder to forgive.
Yeah.
And the affiliation and stuff, you're going to have to maintain that until I guess until Drake and The Weeknd really piece it up, I guess. Pause.
Yeah. Okay, so here it is here. Nav attempts to diss Drake a year after he unfollowed him. And this is courtesy of King Jared. Salute.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Nav. Got a lot of problems I deal with. Talking about blood, I spill shit.
Woo.
Talking no cap, get a peel quick.
Woo.
OVO body,
woo.
I build bitch. Say you want smoke, get turned to a zip. Thought you was a man, but you turned to a bitch. Thought you was a blood, now you turned to a crip.
Oh.
I'll get you whacked for half my fit.
Yo, the man's talking tough, bro. You gonna do, man, something? This is not just like, yo, you guys are whack, yo, I don't like your swag or whatever. It's like, yo, I'm gonna do something with spill blood. He called out OVO by name. Wagwan, Bridget.
I don't know.
Yo.
Thought you was a man, but you turned to a bitch. Thought you was a blood, but now you turn to a crip?
And it doesn't sound like he's talking to Drake.
Okay, so the only Drake reference is the OVO body, I build bitch?
Yeah.
So you don't think he's talking about Drake when he says, say you want smoke, get turned to a zip?
Maybe that's a reference from Free Smoke.
Thought you was a man, but you turned to a bitch.
The reason what makes me not believe it is the thought you was a blood and you turned to a crip. I'm like, I've never seen Drake on some blood and crip shit.
Google it. It's probably out there. You like Drake blood and then try Drake crip and you'll probably see him with the bandanas.
Oh no. Hold on a second. No, the first thing I just see is why do people laugh about Drake claiming
Go to
he's
image.
Gang? Images? Drake crip.
Okay, so maybe that's not a reference.
Okay.
I don't think Drake has ever
blood gang. we're just trying to flush out all the possibilities.
We're just looking to make sure if he's talking about Drake or not.
Man. Well, he's talking about OVO for sure.
Drake throws up blood gang signs.
Well, it's the 6. It's the 6.
Okay.
It looks very closely associated. It looks kind of like the Empire E at the same time, but we ain't gonna talk about that neither. But yeah, I think Nav. That's him on the scene for the video with the game.
Okay, so
right? that was from years ago. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's necessarily talking to Drake, but he's definitely talking to OVO because he said the name OVO body. I build bitch.
What is that supposed to mean? Is he born? Why is he even saying OVO body? Is he born in October?
Nah, man.
Is Nav born in October? Why would he say OVO? Like he's saying OVO body, I build.
I feel like it's a diss towards like he's maybe catching an OVO body, or maybe OVO body, I build bitch. Maybe is it a shot towards Johnny Rocks, who's the OVO trainer? Rocks used to rap too, eh? Don't get too cute over there, Nav. You know what I'm saying?
But would the other lines fit his his description in terms of
Rocks ain't trying to bother nobody.
That's what I'm saying.
Rocks is just out there training and doing his shit, man. I don't know, bro, but the fact that he's called him out by name, it's not like, oh, this is a sub, we've got to wonder who's he talking to. No, he said OVO body, I build bitch.
I still don't get it.
And it's probably not like that. I'm doing it all 90s style. It's like, OVO body, I build bitch.
That's how Over your body, I build, bitch. Like, it's probably one of
Over your
those.
body.
Like, I don't know how it goes, but I
No,
would
that sounds
imagine
like
it's
the
something
na-
like that.
Over your body, I build, bitch.
Say you want smoke, get turned to a zip. I use a man, turn to a bitch. Like, it's definitely on some vibes like that, you know?
Oh man, still fire bars though, but like
hard.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Well, all I'm gonna say is shout out Nav. It would be sick to see the city stronger together.
It would be.
But I like what Nav's doing. I feel like he's finally kind of cracked open his shell. I feel like what he wanted before in terms of the social recognition, he's kind of getting now.
Yeah.
In terms of his social media presence, his personality, his conversations. Like his personality wasn't always a huge draw. Like it was always his music. But I feel like now that he's more tapping into the Punjabi side of his audience,
yeah,
I feel like he's more embracing being camera facing as opposed to just like doing the music.
I feel it's a great rollout.
Mm-hmm.
Will this put Nav in the let's say A rapper, A- rapper tier conversation
In Toronto or just overall?
overall? He's not competing on a Toronto level.
No, I think overall globally he's still B-list in terms of a rapper, but in Toronto he's A-list.
You're giving him B-list, eh?
You would have given B-list. I feel like everyone knows who Nav is.
I'll give him B-list too. Let's do that.
Nah, you don't feel like that. You don't really feel like that. Nah, tell them how you feel.
Tell them how you really feel, Brian.
How you really feel.
I gotta say, I would maybe put him on the B- C+ tier.
Okay, so who's B tier? Because he's worked with A tier rappers multiple times.
Okay,
He might even be A tier, to be honest. It
Oh,
depends
calm down,
how many
A-tier.
people are we allowing in the tier?
So A tier to me would be reserved for Eminem, Drake,
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar,
Jay-Z,
Kanye, Kanye West, J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? These guys who are at least when they drop, they're selling at least 100,000, 300, 400,000 first week.
Okay, so who's B list?
Now B list, I would put like
NLE Choppa?
Hmm.
Or is he A list?
No, he might be C list too.
C list, eh?
For me. Yeah. So okay, the B tier would be, let's say, the Migos when they were together. You know what I'm saying?
Migos were A list at one point at their peak. Come on. When Bad and Bougie was out.
Yeah, I guess.
Because they were like the new group, you know?
Yeah. Lotto would be in the B tier for me. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Who else? Sexy Red.
Sexy Red B tier?
Is she a A tier?
Currently, I feel like with rappers or hip hop artists, it's like very much while they're hot, they're A list.
Yes, but like I'm saying, gotta keep in mind the A tier, they're guaranteed to sell that 250,000 first week. Like GNX did like 262,000 or something like
okay.
First week. You know
So
what
you're
I'm
talking
saying?
about numbers as well.
Numbers as well, you know what I'm saying? And what they're gonna be able to pack out. Like Meg Thee Stallion, even though she's highly famous, is B tier to me.
Okay, B tier. Not in terms of popularity, in terms of significance and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many monthly listeners does Nav have?
Let's see.
Because if it's more than like a 50 mil, then he might be A-list.
A-list
A
is
tier.
tough for me to fucking
10 mil.
10 mil.
Okay,
nah.
B. Come on, bro. You got to give him at least B. You're
If it's
saying
a
C,
B-
eh?
You know what? I'll keep it as B. I don't want no trouble, man. I'm trying to stay out of trouble for the rest of until the summer at least. Okay,
Mhm.
all right. This is to be determined. Haven't done enough information, like enough research on Nav
Mhm.
to really give a proper judgment. And I'm not even trying to like deflect the question or anything. My first instinct is C tier because like I feel there's a lot of more popular people than Nav. And like, don't get me wrong, C tier is not being on the tier with like Coi Leray and different people like that, respectfully, right? It's being on a tier with people who are going to guarantee to sell 60,000 first week, maybe.
Okay, so who's a C tier artist that would be an equivalent of Nav?
Quavo by himself.
I think Quavo by himself, okay, music numbers wise.
Yeah, they'll sell the same amount.
I think Nav might even sell a little more.
Nav will sell a little more.
Visibility and popularity wise, it would be Quavo, even culturally, like the significance.
That's what I'm saying.
They wouldn't be on the same tier, in my opinion. Like if Quavo was in Toronto and if Nav was in Toronto, actually, are people over Quavo? Maybe Nav might get a little more love.
Nav gets a lot of love in the game, period. He gets a lot. Toronto, we're going to give him the maximum amount of love, so we can't even use us as the litmus test for this. Okay, we got to think about it on a world scale because we will accept him because he's popping from Toronto. You know what I mean? But in America, is Nav as popping? Like he's well known.
I think he's well respected by his peers. I think behind the scenes, from an engineering and production standpoint, all our favorite rappers or the poppin' rappers right now probably respect Nav.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But in terms of how he's perceived by the audience, you're saying C tier. I'm gonna say B tier.
Yeah.
But that's up to the audience to decide.
Yeah, because like I feel like Nav, he has 3 different obstacles that he has to overcome. Right? One, the not being American. He's Canadian. Okay? There's another one that, you know, I'm kind of making up him as I'm going along. Maybe him being low key and stuff like that, not being as overt.
Being like introverted, maybe.
Being very introverted. But then the third one is that he's South Asian. Okay? He's not Hispanic. He's not black. He's not white. He's not just one clear thing that he can be like, okay, like we discussed with the white rappers. That's already an uphill battle, but we know that's a white guy. You know what I'm saying? When you're like an Indian guy, that's like in America is not as easy to even understand.
Hope you're enjoying the video. Do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm. And join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free.
You're right. Because at least with white rappers, there have been those w'ho've made it.
Yes.
So there's been those before you. There's an example.
Yes.
At first it was, you know, Vanilla Ice and then Everlast, all these dudes, you know. But with Indian rappers who achieved commercial success in America, who do we have to reference?
They'll be like, what, the Quickie Mart guy got a record deal? Shit.
Apu?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like Apu's like the representation of South Asian people over there in America.
You know who was close?
Who?
But he was from the UK, Jay Sean. Do you remember Baby, Are You Down?
Yeah. And even MIA that we were playing with Swagger Like Us.
She's Tamil.
Yeah.
But she ran into political kind of issues because she was outwardly representing the Tamil movement, the Tamil Tiger movement. I think her family members were affiliated with that politically as well.
Yeah.
So they made it hard for her. But who else? There's that one guy, the Hanuman Khan guy. You know that Hanuman guy who was like, hold up, wait a minute. Get it how you live it. 10 toes in when it's standing up.
Yeah.
That song's kind of going viral, but
I think the last time that Americans really even rocked with somebody who's like from the South Asian community was Punjabi MC, bro.
Americans?
Yes,
bro.
The
They only
Jay-Z.
rock with the song with Jay-Z.
That's what I'm talking about. That's Punjabi MC.
But they're not even rocking with the artist. It's just they know that one song.
That's it. And Nav. That's a big gap.
We need some more. We need some more brown rappers.
Like over here, we get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sidhu Moose Wala, R.I.P. All these different people were like, you know, he's doing the video with A.P. Dillon in the video. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely have a strong South Asian music community out here that's intertwined with the hip hop scene. But like I said, we ain't using Canada as our litmus test right now. We got Nav. But do they got Nav? Do they even understand? There's some people who are just figuring out that Nav's not Spanish, that he's not like a Mexican guy.
I heard that Indian families in America are some of the most successful in terms of being educated. A lot of the doctors, dentists, optometrists, a lot of them are Indian. So perhaps Indians in America prioritize career and education and maybe their own community, because how come in a country full of Indians and Indian immigrants, in Canada, we were able to have a successful Indian rapper. Sidhu Moose Wala is one of the biggest rappers in the world.
Facts.
Numbers wise. And he was in Brampton, but in India, he was like the biggest deal.
Yeah.
That's in our backyard.
And A.P. Dillon, same thing.
A.P. Dillon, even Nav to an extent. But how come in America, where you obviously have Indian immigrants in Houston, in New York, in all these other places, there hasn't been one big rapper?
I think that's because it's more of a new thing to even start seeing more Indian people there. The ones that were there from time or who've been immigrating there over the last few decades and whatever, like you said, they're brightest and best. That's what America's on. They only accept their brightest and best. Now, over the last few years, I think they're probably dealing with some of the same shit that we've dealt with heavier immigration. So they're starting to see more communities. They'll be like, oh, they'll learn, oh, those guys are like Indian guys. Oh, but they're not just all Indian. This guy's Pakistani. And like, I think this is still a foreign concept to a lot of American cities, bro.
Say a word. Yeah, I feel like if you are from Toronto or lived in Toronto, you know the depth of quote unquote just saying brown culture. Obviously, that's not a thing, but like there's so many different types of brown that you learn it if you live in Toronto. You're like, okay, these people are Punjabi, North Indian, South Indian, Tamil, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's surprising that they don't have like a big Indian rapper.
Bro, when we say brown boys, when we say it over here, we're talking about the South Asian community. But I've seen in the comments when I've made videos on like the brown community versus black community, people will jump in the comments from the States and be like, oh, you're talking about like Indian people. Because when we say brown, we're talking about Hispanic people.
Yeah, that's how they refer to Hispanic people. Yeah.
Right? So
because they say black and brown.
Exactly. So now when it comes to black and brown in America, they ain't talking about Nav and them, bro. You guys are other. You're in the other category. You're not even black or brown. You got to check them under like other. We don't even like, you're brown, but like you're not that brown. You're not that kind of brown. Like it's different. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's been a real uphill battle for Nav to get that full acceptance. Like an American kid to be like, I want to be like Nav.
Do you think hip hop culture is more willing to accept a white rapper than a brown rapper?
Yes. Because we've seen successful white rappers. Even though we had the conversation last week about it being hard, we also talked about successful white rappers. Mac Miller, freaking
Action Bronson,
Eminem, the next one there, Machine Gun Kelly, all these different people who are millionaires. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like we can't, and I just name them just easily. We can't just name off like 5 brown or like Indian guy rappers like who have gotten American success. We can name off 5 of them easily who've gotten love over here. A.R. Paisley, Nav, Sidhu Moose Wala. Like there's guys, like it's not that hard for us, but who've gotten success over there.
Even their celebrity representation in America, they have a few famous Indians. Obviously, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
But one of them is Sanjay Gupta, who's a doctor. Dr. Sanjay Gupta on CNN. Then you have Priyanka Chopra, who's married to Nick Jonas, and she's like a big Bollywood actress that kind of transitioned to the States. But they don't really, like I feel like in Canada, Indians are just like so much a part of the society that we see them more. But in America, it's almost like they still see them as like an exoticized like other.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's very much they're just part of the culture.
Well, we'll see now if Nav can break that ceiling and really introduce his culture to America, because it's like I said, there's more and more people emigrating over there, so they'll probably start getting it more and more. But this is why he's leaning on doing the videos in India and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I really, now that we say it, man, Canada and the UK are so much more alike than Canada and America.
Yes.
I feel we're kind of in the middle, but in terms of, let's say, Indian, South Asian representation.
Yeah, they get it over there too.
They get a lot.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more probably famous South Asian rappers in the UK that are spitting like drill music or grime.
And comedians and movie stars, because when I watch their TV shows and whatever on Netflix, like they always have like some kind of South Asian representation.
The leader of their country is South Asian. England.
See that? So it's way different than America.
Give it a few years, America. It'll be you too.
Black and brown will change. But yeah, salute to Nav.
Salute.
Right? Good luck on the album release, man. I want to get still twisted my words today. I want to stay local here for a quick second, and give a salute. I don't know if I should salute him, man.
I'm not saluting this action.
Bucks GME, he's sentenced to life.
I want to take a quick break from this episode to give a big shout out to Only Loud, Canada's one-stop shop for your favorite legacy brands and all things loud. Only Loud provides mail order delivery nationwide and same-day delivery to those in the Ottawa area. Check them out at onlyloud.ca or follow them on their socials, Instagram at onlyloudcanada or on Snapchat onlyloud.ca for more exclusive content. Only Loud is not just a product, it's a lifestyle. Big salute to the sponsors. Cheer!
Yeah, I can't salute the action either. It was kind of despicable. There's a video this is courtesy of Six Entertainment.
Waldron approached, grabbed Khan's gold chain, and shot him point blank in the chest. Khan died. That's when Javon Waldron approached, grabbed.
So yeah, he was sentenced to life. He stole a man's gold chain. I'm not even going to say allegedly because he got convicted and sentenced. And yeah, this is for the people who are not completely aware of Bucks GME, not just outside of Toronto. I'm talking about in Toronto because he wasn't like the most popular rapper out here.
Only if you knew Bugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he was on like multiple projects with Bugs. They had the Splash Bros album, and most of his features are via Bugs' stuff. But like, his life's done. You know what I'm saying? Bugs is the only one left from their crew that people can like depend on to come home at some point and like keep the flag, keep the name alive.
Mm-hmm.
And we know there's no update on Bugs. Like I have no idea what's going on with him. When's he going to be coming home? Like this game's mosh up, bro.
But I will say, I think he'll be able to deliver musically. I feel like when he gets out, he's gonna drop some hot tunes.
I know you're talking about Bugs and not Buck.
Buck, no, yeah, definitely Bugs, not Buck.
Yeah,
Buck. 18 years from now, who knows what the music scene's gonna sound like?
Yeah. And that's if he can get out in the 18 years on his appeal.
On parole.
On parole, I mean. But yeah, the game's mash up, bro. I had a little rant on the live stream the other day saying that Toronto rap is dead, because there was like a page or different like a carousel thing on Reddit showing all these Toronto rappers that are in jail and stuff like that. Our scenes mash up, bro. We don't really got much going on, man. Let me bring up the story here because Rolling Loud is coming back to Toronto.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And this is going to be a whole thing of who's going to perform, what days, don't cancel my day. Like,
is it? This is what I'm saying. This is why I pushed the story up. I had it a couple stories later, but I pushed it up because who do we got? Who's performing at Rolling Loud from Toronto, fam?
Are they going to get Moolah to perform?
They better because they ain't got nobody left. Jesus Christ. Besides the fact that Moolah is like a good rapper and stuff like that, great rapper.
And they told him he was supposed to perform at the first one.
Yeah, and then they canceled that because whatever. I guess it was because of the interview.
It was because of the interview he did with you?
That didn't help. Day 2 and 3, there would be no day 2 and 3. That's what you said. That's what you said? Why is that, fam? What's going on day 1?
Here's what's going to happen.
I put in more work than VC. Chris Bosh, DeMar, and Kyle Lowry. Don't worry, Toronto has me. There will be no day 2 or day 3.
Okay. That there will be no day 2, day 3. As soon as that interview dropped, it was a wrap. But I'm trying to find something from one of these blogs. I seen it, I think, on Keep Six Solid that they're saying that it's coming back in September. Who the hell is going to perform at it? The last time when Rolling Loud was here, which was back in 2022, there was performances from the Wasp Gang. Roadrunner could still perform. Roadrunner's still hot right now.
Doovie
had one of the best performances over there. He's in jail right now. Pangs in jail. And I say Pangs because Pangs had one of the best performances there. I was there watching from the crowd. I filmed it. Right?
What when he did Grizzle de Blanco?
Yes, bro. The crowd went stupid, man.
Really?
Yes, man. Like all the guys who've had like Toronto classics, they're all gone, bro. The Crook performed. He's gone too.
Chroma's performed. And that was legendary or infamously legendary. But, that was just a moment. We can't lean on the Rolling Loud roster to be
the highlight be chromas for 2025. Bro.
Okay, wait.
Respectfully.
How many artists did they get from Toronto last time? Like 10?
No, a lot more than 10. Let me see if I can pull up the Rolling Loud. Because you know what the thing? They haven't even announced it on their own page.
So where's this coming from?
I seen it on the blogs. And then Dusty hit me up, said, yo, it's forward and make sure, right, to see if we can get our media passes, which I will be doing. This is the Rolling Loud in 2022 where Ice Spice did her first show and people were was controversial because people felt it was lackluster. But it was her first live performance. But Pressa performed. Pressa's still hot out here, hot enough to do it again. Nav performed. That was a highlight.
Yo, I know for sure they're gonna get Team East to perform.
Team East definitely has to.
They're gonna perform. I'm trying to think who else.
Let me see if I can find a flyer from Rolling Loud Toronto.
What year was that? 2020?
Yeah, 2022.
2022.
Rolling Loud Toronto 2022. All right, so
okay, Nav, Lil TJ.
I'm just going through to find all of the different Toronto artists.
Yeah, Toronto.
So Jazz Cartier,
Burner Bands.
Burner Band's performance was crazy that year too. Pressa, this is the day one. It was Pressa, Jazz Cartier, Bacchanal Nice, Burner Bands,
YG,
Rob. It was Rob Banks. Sorry, not Robin Banks. Who else is in there? Tallop Twins. This is the day when they had everybody from the Wasp Gang.
Dom Valley,
A.R. Paisley, Havaya Mighty,
Goldie London,
Lola Buns.
And are these paid performances? Are these artists getting paid by Rolling Loud, or is this volunteer, or is it a mixture of both?
I think it's a mixture of both. The second night, let me see for the Toronto people here. Ram Riddles performed, Chromas, 3M French, Tara Lord.
I think 3M French can perform again.
Yeah, we could do another 3M French performance. That would work. The last night, the freaking thing is so freaking small, man. Okay, here we go.
Okay, we go to the first one. The Roy Woods, TV Gucci, Paris Richards.
Doobie was on the first night. Smiley.
The Crook. Pyrex.
Yeah, bro.
Smiley, yeah.
2Ks. That's another Toronto. YTN Paco. I just bumped into somebody the other day. Somebody told me the man's in jail right now.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying?
This is going to be an interesting Rolling Loud.
Yeah. There are.
Tia Banks performed?
Tia Banks performed on the first night, September 9th.
Jeez.
Right? So there is potential. Not everybody's in jail, but then a lot of these people are either in jail or they're not hot right now. A.R. Paisley's still out here doing this thing. Havaya Mighty as well, so they'll probably get them to perform at this one. I don't know, man. Comment Gang Strong, let us know who y'all suggest to be performing at Rolling Loud this year. Like you said, Team East is definitely performing.
Mm-hmm.
That's happening. But I can't really think of a list that I can put together right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the new wave rappers, but I feel like they will recall a lot of the people who performed 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah. It just sucks, man. The game's changed, bro, over since 2022 to now, in the last 3 years. We've seen a dip in this Toronto scene, man. I hate being that Debbie Downer that keeps on bringing it up, but we got to do something to change that shit, man.
We should just transition to content creation. Maybe music isn't it right now.
No, we always have to have music, man, because there's people who don't like content creation, like who don't just consume that.
I love Toronto music too, bro, but it just hasn't been hitting the way we know it's hit before. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the only problem, is that we're prisoner of that moment. You know what I'm saying? We always compare the current Toronto music to, well, does it feel like how it felt in 2018, 19, 17, 16, whatever?
Yeah, and it's not even about the music sound. It's about more like the buzz.
The cultural impact. The significance.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
They'll definitely get the Dagger Rhythm Cypher guys.
Yes.
And I think they might have a crazy performance. If Toronto shows up for Rolling Loud and it's a Toronto-centric crowd and they perform their tracks,
yeah,
people will go crazy. They'll probably get bear pull-ups.
You know, the thing is that's good about Rolling Loud is they're gonna have all these different headliners there and all these different acts in the second row of the flyer that really bring in like thousands and thousands of people. So for some of these up and coming artists that will have some of their own people in the audience as well, they get exposed to like a huge crowd. So like when Burner Bands or any of these guys were popping out to the Rolling Loud crowd, yes, they had a bunch of people who were in the audience that were there to see them. But then there was more than that. You know what I mean? That were like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's my first time ever seeing this performance. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to keep up with his music. He's sick. Yeah.
And it got for them to be able to have photo ops of them in front of a huge crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like and that practice of like, holy shit. Because I can see the Dagger Rhythm performing clubs, they're doing all these things, but like I'd love to see how they'd be able to rock the Rolling Loud crowd.
On a stage.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Maybe get the crowd to do something in unison or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll probably have like dancers on stage with them, some female dancers. Like they could really make a moment.
Yeah. Salute to Rolling Loud, man. I just wanted to make sure to keep that announcement out there. Listen, I hope that I'm not wrong about the announcement and they're just like, nah, it was cap, right? But even if so, if we do have a Rolling Loud in 2025 or if we can, you know, who will you have on it? I want to talk about Kodak Black for a second, man.
Your boy.
My boy. We're losing this guy, man. There's another clip that's going viral of him right now, moving around on.
Bro, there you go.
Salute to Live Bites for this clip.
Say them go out like DMX, man. Shut the fuck up. Definitely ain't going out like DMX.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, legend.
I just noticed something. The crust.
You know? What? Bitch, I'd rather go out like DMX and go out like... The fuck? Is it dumb? I do be feeling like DMX though a lot of time. I been say, get him, bro, chest, he said. Like, no, bitch. Like, no, bitch, I heard it.
Is Kodak Black the new DMX?
In terms of drug use?
I guess. Because DMX, even while he was going through his drug use, to me, he didn't even seem as bad as the way Kodak Black looks like right now.
Yeah, because I feel like DMX had God. He had God on his side.
Yeah.
He was religious.
He was very religious.
Talking about, Lord, give me a sign.
Even when like he was losing weight, he seemed way more energetic when you see him in interviews and stuff like that. He would do kind of crackheadish shit, but like he was more energetic than like, and coherent. Like you can hear, you can understand what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see Kodak Black, he literally looks like a meth head to me, bro.
Yeah, he kind of moves like a rich junkie, like a bucket.
He doesn't even look like a rich one, bro.
Just
like,
a regular one? No,
like the only thing
see the chain and...
Yeah, the chain. The chain gives it away. But like if I didn't know who he was and I didn't know that Kodak Black was like a rich rapper, I would just think that this is some just junkie with a fake chain.
Yeah, he's moving kind of weird. I want to know the combination of drugs that he's on to achieve this. It also seems like he's lost, I guess, motor skills. Like the way he's moving, it's like he lost dexterity. It's almost like they drained this guy's spinal fluid or something. I don't know what. Like he's moving weird. Am I the only one noticing that? Like
he can't find the end of the spliff when he was trying to he's like.
Yeah, his motor skills, his hand-eye coordination seems affected. And I don't know if this is a result of continuous like hard drug use.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like anything that would happen from like weed or even alcohol. This is more
he
like
pops perkies and shit. He popped one on the Kai Cenat stream.
So is this is what perks do to you?
I don't think it's just the perks. I think it's a combination.
Combination.
Right? It's the perks, maybe some lean. There was a time when like he was I think he had to go to rehab or he might have been arrested and he had meth on him. Like he gets in, and I think he's talked about it on songs saying that he does meth.
Meth is crazy. How come there's no one in his circle trying to intervene, get him sober,
Bro.
get him into rehab?
Bro, I tried to say this many times when this is like the umpteenth time that we brought up Kodak Black looking like a junkie. And I've said this, and then people tell me in the comments, and this is just the comments, but the way they act in the comments, they're like, nah, bro, you don't know, fam. You know, his people be there. They got it. I don't think his people give a shit about him, bro. Because there's no way that this guy's just alone all the time.
He definitely has enablers.
He has people around him.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say, yes, they're enablers, but maybe not in the way of like, give you the drugs, but they're just not saying nothing to him.
Like, yeah, you good, Black.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, bro, like, it's not funny. You sound like a junkie.
Yeah, but what are you going to say when this guy's paying your bills or like he's paying your salary and you're getting your money on time and I guess you still have motion. You just have to deal. It's more just dealing with him being a meth head as opposed to helping rehabilitate him. It's more just finding ways to be like, yo, you know Kodak's going to be on some shit, so let's make sure we eat first.
Yeah. I guess just try to keep him alive as long as you can so that, you know, you don't go broke.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's
man.
terrible. He probably would have withdrawals if he stopped right now.
Yeah. Even when I'm looking at this freeze frame of this guy, bro, like his face is drawn out, man. Like he's gotten super skinny in comparison to when Kodak Black first came onto the scene. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I don't know if we can see Kodak Black making it over the next 5 years, man. Unless he starts cleaning up his act. If he continues on this trajectory, he's not going to make it for the next 5 years, bro.
But I feel like they said the same thing about Wayne, and Wayne is fine.
But Wayne slowed down.
Wayne slowed down. He also has
had seizures.
Resonating effects from his drug use in his youth.
Yes, but he had like a series of seizures at one point that made him have to put down the cup for a while, or quote unquote put down the cup. Even if he picked it back up, he had to put it down for a second because he almost died.
You had to slow down.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I pray for Kodak. Like, I hope he doesn't have to have like an OD for him to be like, oh, you know what? Let me slow down. Because everybody else who slowed down in any kind of way, they overdosed first. And the ones who didn't slow down, they died. A la Pimp C. You know what I mean? DJ Screw. These guys died from the shit, bro. From not even just like a bunch of stuff, like drinking lean and like all the different like surrounding things that come with the popping this and drinking some lean. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, pray for this guy, man. Like, I want to, you know, people want me to, not me, maybe people don't want me to, but like in Toronto, it's cooler to bash Kodak because he's got some issue with different Toronto mans. But I'm a fan of Kodak's music, bro. And like, I'm just not a fan of this Kodak's music. You know what I'm saying?
No, nothing takes away from his talent and his artistry.
Yeah.
And obviously, he has his own personal qualms with people, and that's his business.
Yeah.
But you can't say he's not a talented musician or rapper. He makes good music. He's written good songs.
He's written good songs. But this shit right here is causing him not to even make good music as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
He don't even sound as coherent on any of the newer shit that you've heard from Kodak. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go back to the older shit.
Yeah. I still listen to his old stuff.
Yeah. Before the drugs really, really set in and like just destroyed his jaw. It's crazy, fam. But yeah, salute to Kodak, man. You know, like, get some help, bro. Please, man. Get some help, man. There's a Sidhu Moose Wala lookalike contest that's about to happen out here.
Should I grow out my stash and try out again?
Bro, yes.
Nah, it's too late. It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, eh?
I feel like I might have had maybe I'd have to get a little spray tan though, but I feel like I could have done it.
Okay, so by the time that people see this episode, it'll be out already.
3 bills. Oh, yeah, 3 bills.
Damn, I'm trying to be editing the episodes like right away because like I want this to happen so I can maybe put a little cut in. I wonder if it's gonna be as crazy as the Drake contest, man. You see where they have it though? It's over there in Mississauga, Kennedy Road in Mississauga. So they found the right location to get the most amount of brown guys to come out for this event, fam.
Yeah, and I think the fact that they're offering $300 for the prize, you're gonna see a lot of international students who are like, I could look like Sidhu.
Bro, where are we going in this world, fam? Like,
the more and more I look at the different things that are happening, I feel like we're living in a simulation. $300 to dress up as like Sidhu Moose Wala, bro. Like, what is the tariffs doing to us, fam? Like, bro.
Well, this is for content, I'm guessing, right? Like, you can't just. Why would you host this,
fam? The Drake look like they were giving away way more than that. No.
Yeah, I think they were. I think
it was like 10 racks. No.
I don't know, something like
not
that.
10 racks.
Maybe a couple racks.
$300, fam.
That's des.
Bro,
that's des. That's wait. It's like, do you even want to win that bad? Like, I mean, 3 bills. Sometimes you need 3 bills, and if you really look like Sidhu Moose Wala and you need 3 bills, I'm pulling up,
bro. You better take the bus over there because the gas to get there, you probably spend like $40 there and back.
Oh yeah, you can't even Uber. Still, you have to take public transportation.
Yeah, bro. Like you're barely covering your cost. You're not even gonna cover. Like if you don't already have turbines and shit like that. Like now, if you have to go buy turbines and stuff.
No, I'm guessing everyone who's going to audition already has the turban, probably already has the look.
But they better, because if they have to go buy the look, now you're cutting into your prize money. If I have to spend $100 on my outfit, now that $300 is really $200. Up the prize money.
They gotta up the prize money.
It's too late now. People, it's like the contest already happened, but that prize money is low, bro. That's...
Even third world countries, it's like 3 bills. That's it. Like, aren't you guys in the West? You can't give us a band. Like,
well, listen. Congratulations to whoever won that, man. Spend it wisely. Don't spend it all in one place, bro. $300.
Yo, by the way, Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim listeners. By the time this comes out, it will be Eid. So I hope Ramadan was good. You know, I know it's tough.
Yeah.
And salute to y'all.
Salute. I have a list here or not a list, but I was been pontificating on dumb cities.
Pontificating is a great word.
The reason that this started to spark into my brain, and I put together some names of dumbest gangster cities. And the reason why I'm thinking dumbest gangster cities, because self-snitching has become like an art form at this point. Right?
Okay.
And LA has been caught up into a lot of different shit with this whole rolling 60s stuff. We're starting to see through all these different podcast episodes of so much guys who are just willing to self-snitch. But they're not the only ones. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to compile maybe a list of the dumbest cities based on a lot of the stuff that we know about them. Maybe their whole scene being in jail. Unfortunately, a lot of their artists just being out of there because of death. But just everything just being out there online. So here's what I have, and this is no particular order. LA, Jacksonville, Chicago, Toronto, and New York. Atlanta I have there, but I don't know if Atlanta should be on this list. Because Atlanta, to me, might have been the smartest city out of all of these cities that were like out there self-snitching.
Why do you say they're the smartest?
Well, one, they had the YSL Rico. Thug is home. So he beat that. They try to say that it was lyrics that were used in his songs, but like they weren't like that incriminating in comparison to the type of shit that we hear in Bronx drill or Brooklyn drill. You know what I'm saying? The amount of self-snitching that Toronto rappers have done that have been called out for that. And the reason that Toronto's on this list too is because the reason the Toronto scene is dead is because half of these guys are in jail. So they're not smart enough criminals to stay out of jail neither. You know what I mean?
But do you feel like going to jail makes you a dumb criminal? Like getting caught?
Maybe dumbest gangster cities might be a harsh way to put this list.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to be like, yeah, LA's dumb. Like
y'all dummies.
Yeah, they're all dumb. Like, nah, obviously not.
Okay, so maybe I should word this better. What is the biggest self-snitching city then?
Based on what I've seen with, I guess, publicized Ricos, I'm gonna say New York.
I don't agree. I'll say Chicago.
I was gonna say Chicago next, but yeah, New York and Chicago, between those two.
Yeah.
I feel like New York is maybe, how do I explain it? Chicago, I feel like a lot of it was aided by external media.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like New York, it's more internal through the music. But I could be wrong too. I'm sure there are like New York blog pages.
I'm not aware of them.
Yeah.
I feel like World Star is the most that I know from New York, but there's a set of New York blog pages, but I feel like a lot of these guys like played themselves by putting up the phone and showing it themselves. Like K Flock, who we spoke about last week, got sentenced, but he showed a lot of his shit online.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I think they all got that from the Chicago guys.
Yeah.
These guys were on Twitter from like 2015, just tweeting at each other, talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And half of their scene is locked up or in jail, and everybody knows about their crimes because they just self-snitch on themselves.
Yeah, but I don't think we can target it to territories. Like at this point, self-snitching is a broader cultural and musical phenomena. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's not just like, oh, this place. It's not bound to any place. I think everyone does it different. Like LA, obviously they have music as a platform, but they also have No Jumper, which is a platform that many have gone and self-snitched.
I think LA uses podcast more than they use music.
Whereas you're saying New York, they'll use what, more social media or more music?
They use music and their social media.
Mm-hmm. And then Chicago, you're saying more music and social media as well?
Yeah, music and social media. It might even be social media might even be a little bit more, because like I learned about the lore of Tuca through just their social media posts and stuff like that.
But even Toronto is social media. I think we will have a few bars and some songs, but it's the IG lives, it's the IG stories, it's the comments, it's the he liked this comment about his op.
Yeah, and the opportunities that we've gotten in Toronto. Anytime that we got to branch out to the world where like an academics or somebody does like a combination stream with us, that's the first opportunity we take to just say the most incriminating shit, get at each other from window to window. I hate you, I'm gonna smoke you when I see you, all the type of shit. I'm like, that's why I kind of put the dumbest criminals in this too, but we're not gonna call anybody dumb. But self-snitching, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bruh, the reason I put Atlanta on the list is because Atlanta is a major hip-hop city as well, or a major city with just a lot of crime and stuff. But I can't put them on the list of the biggest self-snitchers because I feel like out of a city that has so much crime going on, they've done the least amount of self-snitching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could be right, yeah.
Like we don't hear about a lot of social media posts or live streams that came out of Atlanta with all these guys just telling on themselves. They don't jump on podcasts and like Lil Baby, he used to barely speak in his interviews. We didn't barely know anything about him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Migos, same thing.
I feel like a lot of these Atlanta rappers are more musical. They enjoy the musical aspect of it, so they're not necessarily self-snitching.
Yeah.
It's more about the swag. It's more about being P. It's more about having a song that the girls can jam to and that, you know, dudes will respect. It's not necessarily about op music or incriminating music.
Yeah.
So it's more, maybe it's more of a cultural thing too.
Yeah. Listen, let us know in the comments also if you want to put a self-snitching, not dumbest, okay? I'll take that back, all right? The biggest self-snitching cities, and put them in order. You know what I'm saying? I think Chicago is kind of tough to keep that number one spot because like there's been so much people who've done dumber or self-snitched more over the years, but they've done so much in their heyday that it's kind of, it keeps them in the top 3 at least.
Yeah, it's more their impact, like how they've influenced other people's behaviors, right?
Yeah, like fam, there's people who pattern their styles off of King Von in Chicago. Like the one guy who talked about how he had 12 bodies and he was like public about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like you guys want to go to jail. And if there's any cities that I missed, because I know I missed some cities that have done, it was like, bro, like Jacksonville. Sorry, before we get off of that, I forgot to talk about Jacksonville. The reason I put Jacksonville on that list is because we know about all of the shit that happened there. Young and Ace, R.I.P. Julio Fulio. Like, we got to find out about the whole lore through their social media posts and through their way that they took their music videos and took it to a way another level. Like taking videos on top of people's grave sites and shit like that. You remember the Julio Fulio video?
Yeah,
like
directly.
He went crazy with his videos. And then like the Who I Smoke was like a phenomenon, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, bro. Like we know so much about how, like name by name of who is the guys in your lore from your music. And then now all of them are gone. Like Young and Ace ain't popping like that anymore. Julio Fulio's dead. I bet you a bunch of people all around him, all dead. It's whack, bro.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. But let us know in the comments below, worst self-snitching cities. I got a couple more things here. Some political things.
Trump likes Mark Carney.
He does.
That was a big moment. He didn't even call him Senator Mark Carney.
No.
He called him Prime Minister.
So this is a quote from Donald Trump if you want to read.
Or
from
Governor,
right
pardon me. Okay. I just finished speaking with Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada. It was an extremely productive call. We agree on many things. And we'll be meeting immediately after Canada's upcoming election to work on elements of politics, business, and all other factors that will end up being great for both the United States of America and Canada. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Immediately after this upcoming election. So him and Mark Carney are going to have some more conversations after this upcoming election because, like, what, the fix is in? What are we doing right here?
Well, yeah, is Carney guaranteed to win?
That's what Trump is kind of saying. He's like, yeah, we'll talk after the election, bro. What do you mean? Like, as me being something else? Because it's not guaranteed he's going to be the prime minister.
That's true, but I did hear him on the radio. He did mention the election. He's like, we'll see after the election what happens.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't think he knows that if it's a guaranteed win for Carney or not, because it's not. Like, I think a lot of people are really championing Poilievre right now.
Yeah, this is true.
And apparently, did you see how he's increasing the sentences for those caught with a certain amount of fentanyl?
Yes.
A certain amount of drugs.
He wants to get 20
offenders,
years or something like that.
Guaranteed 20 years, no bail, no probation.
Yeah. That's one of the things that he's running on that I think a lot of the quote unquote demand him on road ain't gonna like. But one thing with this, he has a way different energy than he had with Trudeau.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm not saying that we should be voting based on what Trump likes. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? Like, we still have our own shit we have to deal with here. But like, he's calmed down a bit, bro. He's not dissing. He's not talking about the 51st state anymore. I don't think it was a Canada thing. I think it was a Justin thing.
Hope you're enjoying the video. Do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm. And join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free.
I agree, because the thing with Mark Carney is he has credentials.
Mm-hmm.
He's worked for international banks. He's worked on policies. He's an established business person as well.
Yeah.
So Trump probably respects him just on some mano y mano, just like, yo, as a man, I'm meeting you.
Yeah.
I could tell you're qualified. Trudeau was always the golden child of a prime minister, spoiled little brat who wants to be like this superstar narcissist, you know? So it could be that could be the reason why Trump has a differing attitude towards Mark Carney as opposed to Justin Trudeau. However, Mark Carney, there's sketchy elements about him too. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I like him better than Trudeau. And I don't know if Poilievre is our best alternative, because there are things that he's saying that, even though I agree with a lot of what Poilievre says, there are other things where I'm like, this might make the country worse, or this might only help a certain faction of the country.
And just to be clear, not even just for our audience, but even for me myself, Poilievre, he represents the Conservative Party, right? And Mark Carney is liberal, right? So the values and the different things that that Poilievre is going to be running on is going to be conservative values,
most likely.
No, that's what he's running on. Like, he has a lot of conservative values. So it kind of shows now, what is Canada? Do we have a conservative way of thinking, or do we have a more liberal mind state?
Historically, Canada's always been more liberal. Even our more conservative people preferred voting liberal until the liberals got so weird that it was like, okay, we need a conservative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we had a different conservative party, and then it combined with another conservative party because the liberals kept winning because the conservatives were competing against each other.
Right.
And Poilievre was a big part of that merger. And then you contrast the two, like Poilievre is like a conservative white male. He wants like nuclear family, doesn't want the state to raise its kids. Mark Carney has a transgender child. Mark Carney is very much on the left. Mark Carney is a globalist. He has admitted that he's a globalist, right? So he's on a total opposite spectrum of Paul Revere when it comes to his intentions. He wants to make Canada even more progressive than it probably already is.
Yeah.
His daughter or son, his child is transgender.
Yeah. And that, I guess, would help when we have a liberal mind state country, right?
Well, it's also like, could that be used against him? Maybe a lot of people have
That's what I'm
had it
saying.
with that aspect of Canadian politics where it comes to identity politics, LGBTQ, etc. But it shows like, okay, you have a trans daughter or whatever that you're willing to accept and embrace. So most likely when it comes to your approach to policies or matters that pertain to that issue, you're going to have your daughter in mind. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Paul Revere is approaching it from a non-biased perspective because even though he has his own beliefs about that stuff, he respects the liberties of Canadians to choose to live that lifestyle if they want to. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if Trump knows this.
I don't know. I don't know what Trump knows or doesn't know. I feel like people be whispering stuff in his ear and he just knows stuff like in that moment.
Yeah. Because like you and I'm glad I'm having this conversation with you because you be knowing about your politics and shit. Like, because I feel like Trump's the kind of guy who would be like, oh, you got trans daughter? Oh, who's this weirdo?
I liked Carney till I realized he has a daughter, but it's a son. It's like, what?
You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't he say there's only two genders now and shit like that? Like, he said it like in his inauguration speech, bro.
That's a fundamental difference. That's a fundamental difference that they might have if they ever have that conversation around transgender rights, transgenders in sports. It kind of puts Carney in a tough position. Like, because what if he doesn't agree with it? Or what if he does agree with it? I don't know. Like, he probably still loves his kid.
Of course.
And he's going to support his kid and they're rich. So it's like the kid is probably fine with it.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of Canadians might see that as, okay, like that's kind of what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I didn't know that piece of information right there. That's a tidbit that you just
search Mark Carney, transgender kid.
Let me put it to let me get it out of image there. Mark Carney. Trans.
Damn, did they not have it out there?
Kid. Carney's daughter receives. Oh, look at this.
Wrote about receiving therapy. But is it a daughter? Maybe this is fake news.
Carney's daughter who wrote about receiving therapy at Shooter's
Tavistock Clinic. I don't know. I saw it somewhere, but we should confirm it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, look. Mark Carney, Canada's new prime minister, sent his eldest daughter, Sasha, to the Tavistock Clinic, to the transgender clinic in the UK.
Oh, my God.
We don't need to do any more research, just the headlines. No, definitely see if you can prop up a pic, okay? Because I don't want to get caught slipping, but I'm pretty sure he has a trans kid. Yeah, yes.
Yo.
And by the way, like, people,
salute to everybody.
People could do whatever they want. I don't actually
yeah.
care. But I'm just saying, like, in a political sense, even like our prime minister, this could be like the first kid of a prime minister that's openly trans like this.
Yeah.
Where the prime minister sent them to a clinic to have this gender affirming surgery.
Bro, when you're trying to be the prime minister, man, and you got kids, you're just like looking around like, bro, can everybody just chill out?
Don't do
be
nothing.
in charge, bro. And then you guys could do whatever you want. Cause right now, fam, like anything you do will be used against me.
Look what happened to Magic Johnson.
Yeah, bro.
Magic Johnson's kid.
Magic. What's her name? Andrea Horvath. I interviewed her kid.
Really?
Yes, he's had like an AK-47 in a picture, and like everybody was like, "Yo, what the hell? Why is this the what was she? She wasn't a premier or whatever. Whatever she was, right? They were like, "Yo, why is Andrea Horvath's kid taking pictures with an AK?" And I reached out to him and I interviewed him. His name's Julian. Yeah. But like that didn't help her.
So do you think this will help him? I think it will help him with a certain community. But I think it'll also hurt him with those who maybe were like, yo, I would have voted for Carney.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can get with this aspect of his life.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, but it's a tricky one too. You know what I'm saying when it comes to talking about this.
Xavier Trudeau is way cooler than this kid, though. I'll tell you that.
Plays basketball, does a little
Rap,
singing,
sings, probably backs gal. Like then you got, you know what I'm saying? Yo, shout out Zave.
Yeah, salute to Zave, man. Pull up, bro.
Pull up.
No Secret Service. But yeah, man. Okay. Last thing about this. Who would you vote for? Actually, I don't want to ask what your political leanings
You don't
are.
ask white people who they're gonna vote for Friday. It's like,
Let's do that for the Comment Gang Strong. I'll put a little poll, right? Poliviev or Mark Carney or Jagmeet Singh.
Here's the thing, like the thing is Jagmeet, as much as there are things that I don't like about him, he's the most relatable out of all the prime ministers in terms of being from the trenches, not necessarily the trenches in that street sense, but being like ground level, lower middle class, going to university, taking care of his kid, working jobs. He was a criminal defense lawyer for like people who couldn't afford lawyers and stuff for criminals. So it's like, who can relate to our experience more, do you think?
He makes cool TikTok videos.
He's a little more like in touch with the youth, but at the same time, like I just know this guy has bare agendas. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't trust his agenda. So for me, damn, I'm still undecided. I would tell you who it would be.
Well, we won't say it publicly.
Yeah, we won't say it publicly, but I honestly am undecided because I learn more information about each of these people every day, and it's kind of like, I like what you're saying here, but I didn't like what you said here. I like what he said there, but I don't like this. Like,
it makes it really tough for me. I don't even know who I'd want to vote for at this point between like Mark Carney, Poliviev, and Jagmeet Singh. Like I don't trust any of them, so it's like I don't even know who do I trust the most out of all of these people who I don't trust.
Chris Guy.
No. I would not vote for Chris Guy just out of principle of me and him beefing, bro. It's up for life.
I remember that. Didn't you call out his racist Facebook status? And he got
and
mad
that too.
scared.
He's racist as hell, bro. Like no, man.
He was cool until that moment, eh?
Yeah. No Chris Guy over here, bro. F Chris Guy. But yeah, let us know who in the comments through this poll who y'all voting for, right? We want to check the temperature out here. I got one more question for you.
This is a good question.
Why are people obsessed with serial killers, man? And this is based off of not necessarily a serial killer. Like, let's even broaden it. Serial killers and true crime. I reposted a clip from the Tyshawn Riley interview that I did a few years ago, like 3 years ago.
Murder. The cop said to him, "Okay, you know everything about you know everything about the murder. Tell us what you know about the murder of on March 3rd, 2004." And he said, "Okay, this is what I know. Mr. Wisdom told me that he followed the Ross. He followed his dread."
The audio wasn't even that great. It's out of here. It's moving. I look in my analytics and I still see Mark Moore, Toronto serial killer, still in one of the like more viewed videos, newer viewers list in the analytics.
Mm-hmm.
So people are super intrigued by this piece of content with somebody who was accused of being a serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this shit, bro. Like I watch all of that true crime shit. I go to sleep to something called Rotten Mangoes, which is this Asian girl who's like reading true crime stories. Why are we so obsessed with this shit, bro?
I think there's something appealing about an individual who's willing to kill. I think that thought, the intention and the execution is something that the average person kind of maybe fantasizes about here and there. Where it's like, yo, I'll kill you, or I'll kill you, whatever.
Yeah.
But you never actually do it. Be like, oh shoot, these people had the balls, the cojones to follow through, even if it's not with a good reason, even if it's a crazy reason. You're just like, your ability and willingness to kill is seen as something that is unattainable to the average person. So you kind of maybe live through it in that consumption of the content. You know what I'm saying? Where you're like, damn, like you really did that. Why did you do that? Well, why did he end up like that? What happened in his childhood? Oh, he's seen this happen. Like You know, so
Yeah.
putting the puzzle pieces together, I don't know, man. Humans have always been attracted to violence.
Bro, like I've even done a piece based on another piece that I seen out there with an 8-year-old serial killer. You know what I'm saying? A kid from India who like he murked like 4 people or something like that. Kids, other kids, right? And that piece on the channel did great. It was a slow burn, but then it started just doing great. I still see comments right now popping up from this shit. But the original piece that I saw on it has millions of views. People are just like, I don't know. When I'm watching it, I'm trying to figure out even now in real time why I'm so intrigued by watching this shit. Because what you said, I don't feel like that's a reason for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have like sometimes I feel like, yo, I'll kill this person, but like I don't walk around with the urge to kill people.
Because that's a very like momentary reaction.
Yes.
But for someone to hone in on that energy, I feel like there's something interesting about it at least. Like it's kind of like if you see a fight, are you gonna watch the fight? Probably.
I think for me, I'm always intrigued on how they got caught.
Okay. For me, I'm more intrigued about why they did it and how they did it. Because I feel like it's always inevitable they're going to get caught, especially like if you're watching it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in terms of like, if I'm watching a documentary, what's my favorite part? Because I feel like you get caught like at the end. You know what I'm saying? I'm more interested in like, why are you like this? What led you to do this?
Yeah.
And like, what like motivated you? Because some of them are motivated by previous serial killers.
Yeah,
a lot of them are,
yeah.
right? It's like its own little cult. And apparently a lot of these serial killers get like love mail, get like fan
They
mail
do.
in jail.
No.
So it's like obviously girls are into it. It seems.
Yeah,
You
the
know what I'm
Jeffrey
saying?
Dahmer guy who was gay was still getting a bunch of like women fans.
That's interesting. But okay, so then that begs the next question. What makes them attractive to women? Why is the ability to inflict violence attractive to women? And I think it can represent one, like some type of like unpredictability or adventure that keeps women on their toes. And 2, safety, where it's like, yo, this guy, he's not afraid to kill someone if someone gets in that position where they're, there's a threat.
Yeah.
It's the willingness to kill. I think that's what the appeal is, not just for women, but like even just everyone. Like if you see a man, say someone's robbing a bank and the next man kills the guy robbing the bank, that's like an honorable thing. You're like, yo, I rate you for being able to like protect everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
well, not only thing with women, it's not even just only the characters themselves. I've noticed that I've gotten to watch a lot of true crime shit from women.
Like they're the killers?
No, like they put me on to the true crime shit.
They're the ones consuming it the most. The average Toronto girl watches so much true crime, you don't even understand.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, why are you into this?
Over the years, I've had different women who have put me on to, yo, have you ever seen this? Have you ever heard this podcast? And I'm like, wait a minute. Thank you. It's great content. But like, how are you into this for so long, bro?
Like I thought you were a mesquite girl.
They're bloodthirsty, bro.
But that's what leads me to believe that they like borderline fantasize about that. Something about that act is like appealing to them because why else are they just intrigued? Like, I guess maybe.
It makes me wonder, are men more into serial killer or true crime types of shit or women?
You know what's interesting? I want to argue it's men because I feel like we have more of a propensity towards non-fictional content.
Right.
Whereas I feel like women, there are women who like documentaries and stuff, don't get me wrong. But like in general, women consume more fiction, men consume more non-fiction.
Yeah.
And maybe for men, it's kind of like you want this information because you want to know about this act of violence or like what led this. It helps you increase your overall knowledge,
Yeah.
Whereas with girls, it's kind of like maybe they're just attracted to it.
They have sick fantasies.
Maybe they have sick fantasy, but for you, you're kind of learning, like we're watching it almost like it's on some helpful information. It's giving you like survival information in the sense where it's like, oh shoot, stay away from mans that are like this. Oh shoot, if a man's pushed to this edge, this is what has happened historically.
Yeah.
It's more informative.
Well, listen, man, I it's something that just popped into my mind because I just noticed that anytime I drop a clip, I don't want to do it again this week, because I have content with people who have been convicted of murdering multiple people. But every time I do that kind of content, it goes crazy. And like from when I made the test, like I'm gonna take a 3-year-old piece of content, slice a piece out of it, and then reintroduce it to the audience. And people are watching it like as if I just dropped this shit like it's brand new.
Yeah, I feel like we really strike a primal chord in the human brain when we showcase violence, sex, maybe food. I don't know, but like I think violence and sex are the big ones that it's like that's just our primal human brain that it's like we're naturally interested. Once again, you see a fight on the street, you cannot keep your eyes away from it.
Yeah.
It's either like survival strategy, but it's also like how we're wired.
Yeah.
That's why we like sports. Sports is pretty much violence or war in like a contained environment with rules, but that's pretty much two sides going at each other. What's the best part of a sports game? When there's actual fight on the court or a fight in hockey, you know what I'm saying? So we're still, even though we're like very advanced technology wise, we're still very primal in terms of our hardware.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, salute to all the people out there who consume all of that true crime, serial killer content.
What's the best one? That's my question. What's the best true crime content right now?
The best true crime content. I was gonna say Child Support, but they changed their name to Six something.
Tales of the Six.
Tales of the Six. For Toronto.
Six Tales, I think.
Six Tales. They got, to me, some of the best content that you can find about criminal shit on YouTube. Other than that, for Toronto, are we talking about in general?
In general.
Who else do I watch?
Because I feel like I watch Netflix a lot with that stuff.
Netflix is definitely the place to go get your well-produced documentaries about that type of stuff. And it's, to me, that goes without saying. But in the YouTube space, and this is not an ad, and salute to her if she gets to see this. Please get to see this. Rotten Mangoes, her shit slaps, bro. And like it does like 1 million in like half a day.
Rotten Mangoes.
Yeah. She just sits there. She has a super sick background, and like she just tells like stories. They have a few visual aids that'll pop in, and I've learned about people who are out there eating other people and all types of shit, bro. Like there's so many sick people in the world, and I go to sleep to this shit, bro. I fall asleep listening to her telling me about heinous crimes, bro.
You saying that there's so many sick people in this world, I think that's another appeal, is that these are abnormal. These are people who are, out of the 10 people you see, they're the one person that's different. So obviously they're going to stand out. The differences are going to be more pronounced, and you kind of have to like see, why is this person so different? Why is this person deviating from the norm, you know?
Yo, dude, as soon as I see a new thumbnail of hers pop up, if it doesn't have somebody who did something really heinous, I'm probably not going to watch. Like, oh, you did a few online crimes, next. I can watch that on somebody else's channel. But if you stab like 5 people, I'll watch that later.
But what are you interested to know? Are you interested to know why, how, and you're saying how he got caught?
I want to know, I guess there's a sick part of me to be like, yo, like, what did you do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Naturally, yeah.
And like, what, you severed the body, you broke it into 5 pieces? Like, whoa, like, it's gruesome, but I'm like, tell me more, right? And then like I said before, like, how did they finally catch you? What little thing did you do that put the lead onto you? Or did you do it on purpose and then it took them super long to catch you because they're being negligent? Or, you know, like, I love that part. Like, how did they start putting the breadcrumbs together to be like, all right, we found him?
Yeah, it's like they found something planted under a pot.
Yeah.
And then like they lifted the pot and they saw like a hand, and you're like, oh, shoot.
Or sometimes it's like a website, something that was posted on a page or a comment that makes people start putting the clues together, and they're like, oh, shit. It happened in my Bruce MacArthur story. I talked about Bruce MacArthur, and it was something that happened online in another country that made people realize that one of their peoples was missing. And then they started investigating a little bit more.
Even Luca Magnotta, he was being kind of watched online because he used to like hurt cats online. And that community that was like keeping tabs on him connected him to what would eventually be the murder he got convicted for.
I'm at home like, not that I want him to get away with it, but I'm like, bro, you would have got away with it if you didn't just do this one stupid thing. You know what I'm saying? You could have been killing people up to today if you didn't just do this one dumb thing. So it's like, that to me, intriguing as hell, bro.
Yeah, no, you're not lying.
You know what I'm saying? But I was going to say salute to all the serial killers out there, but no.
No.
Salute to the people who view the shit, man. Let's wrap it up here. Let me see what I can find for the road here.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.